because it gums up if you don't. And then one, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, especially if you brush it on. But what I realized is I can get the semi-gloss, and the only difference between the semi-gloss and the real glossy is the fact that you got to stir up the semi-gloss. If you don't stir it up, you've got the glossy. So sometimes the glossy is more expensive. I don't know why, but I just, my mentor that taught me how to wood turn. Anyway, she showed me that. But what I do, sanding sealer, I'll let it sit and dry, and then I'll do a light sanding, and it kind of turns white because you're sanding on the sanding sealer, and you'll be able to see all the little mistakes that you made.
Right.
You go back with just a little bit of CA glue and just maybe a little bit of dust, and fill in those craters, I guess, those real fine ones. Craters are the worst. And then I'll spray it 2 or 3 times with sanding sealer, and then I'll spray it with the lacquer. And man, you talk about a gorgeous finish. It's out of this world.
So you're using a spray-on sanding sealer too?
Yeah, I have a spray gun, like an automotive spray gun.
Yeah.
And so I'll just I'll
does that come in a spray can?
No.
Can you get that in a spray can?
I'll get
Can you get that in a spray can?
Yeah, I'm sure you can. The only one, but not the kind of stuff I'm using.
Right.
The stuff which I'd have to go out to my shop and look and see exactly what it is. I can't remember, but it's like, I don't know, $45, $50 a gallon for what I get.
Are you using Mohawk Precat lacquer, automotive lacquer?
No.
Okay.
I don't use automotive lacquer.
What did you say you used before the sanding sealer?
I'll use a wood conditioner. All that wood conditioner does is once it dries, all it does is it put your sanding sealer and lacquer on, is it helps it go on smoothly and it doesn't splotch. It just basically, it's like a wood. You're prepping the wood to start your sanding sealer and then your lacquer.
It just that's what the sanding sealer did.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what I do.
No, I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
Still working on a process.
Yeah, it's a learning. I said it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Everything is,
Well, before I get to that process, I got to get something that don't break on me before I finish.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story, man. When I first got my new lathe, which was, I think it was before December. I think it was just hit December. I had a piece of cedar in between centers, and I had just put my lathe together. I had just plugged it in and everything, and I had my cedar between centers, and my son and my best friend were right beside me. And I said, let's just see how far or how fast this thing can go. Man, I got that joker up to like 3,300 RPMs, and it went boom. I mean, it just came apart. It was all ducking and stuff. It was crazy.
It came apart. It didn't just come off the lathe. It came apart.
Yeah, the centrifugal force made that cedar come apart. It was crazy.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I got a piece of cedar getting ready to go on mine today.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. It had a crack in it, so I whipped up some epoxy.
Uh-huh.
And I was going to work on it today, but then with this election thing, got me all upset. I ain't done nothing.
Yeah. Oh, I understand.
I got a real pretty piece of cedar getting ready to go on there now.
Are you doing in grain or are you cutting it cross grain?
I guess it'll be in grain.
Okay.
It's a log that's cut at both ends.
Oh, yeah. Do
Yeah.
you cut? Do you do a lot of? Do you do any cross grain?
Yeah. Just depends on which,
I
depending on what the piece looks like when I, get ready to use it.
Okay. One of the things that I've been being taught that I've had to, I like the slopes on the top of my pieces. And so if you have a regular, if you have like a regular straight log, you can
Yeah.
cut that log in such a way to where you can create that magical slope up to where it slopes up on the, it's all in how you cut it.
How you cut
And
them.
I like that natural edge. I love the natural edge, the bark edge.
Right.
And then how you
Right.
mount it.
I actually,
And then how you mount it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can if you've got your bark is here, let's say your tree's like this and you got bark on the outside here,
But
and
who's talking?
and you mount it. That's me, Matt Harbor. Here, let me do this, guys. Here.
I can't.
Matt's going to highlight himself. It's not working.
How's that?
Oh, there. Well, it's black, right?
I don't see you.
Myself now.
I see Jay.
This is the tree, and you've got bark on the outside here. And if you were to mount it straight in, you would get us an even edge. But if you shift when you mount it, and you get an
We're not seeing you, Matt. And we can barely hear you.
Matt's name is up on me, but I think Jay's still up on the picture.
I don't see him.
Right. Jay is.
Oh, I see that. I see
One of the-
Matt's name in my picture.
Now there's Brenda. Okay.
Oh,
Hey,
Dave.
Brenda.
Yeah.
Hey, so I cut I did an end grain piece of a piece of cherry burl,
Yeah.
and I actually inlaid the bark up and around it. It looked like it was natural, like I cut it that way. It was the coolest piece I've ever done.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really neat. CA glue is my friend.
Oh, yes. Yes. I go through a lot of CA glue.
If we lost Matt, apparently he had some audio problems or video problems. We'll get him back in a few minutes. This is open conversation time at 17 minutes after the hour. Good evening, everybody. I'm Captain Eddie Castle, and you're tuned into the greatest free show on earth, really. So if you want to chat, press the space bar and let's rock and roll.
Hi, Eddie.
Hey, Brent.
Hey.
I've been watching. I haven't been talking. I'm having a little. It's a learning curve for me over here today.
Dang.
Today,
Say again.
Brenda, did you lose anything on your lathe since last week?
Yeah, I guess I did. It's a small piece. I've been trying to make a flower. Watched a YouTube video where this, I think it was a guy, I don't remember now, had made looked like a tulip, like a bulb, and then a stem, and then the tulip on top. Well, I've tried twice and it's broke both times.
Are you making the tulip bulb first?
This last time I made the stem first. Yeah, it was pretty stupid.
And it fits you in the rear end. Yeah, you want to start with
Yeah.
the biggest first. And then work
Yeah, I
back.
knew that. As soon as I started hollowing it out, I'm like, yeah, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
I just kept on doing it, kept on turning, just to practice holding my tool and
Right.
the tool in the right spot and all that. And pretty soon it went flying.
Yeah.
So,
Them catchers are scary sometimes.
yeah.
Some
I
people
get-
make
How-
two pieces.
What's that?
Some
I
people
said,
make
what
them
kind
two.
of you use?
Oh, really?
Hey, Brenda, it's called wood turning, not wood trolley.
Hey, Brenda, what
Yeah.
kind of hollowing system do you use?
The Halloween tools I have? Well, I use several different ones. Actually, the one I was using when it came off was a, oh, what's the real Sharpie things? Round tip.
Scraper.
Swan tail hook, round cutter.
Oh, okay.
Carbide tip.
Yeah, the cardboard. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
that's it.
cardboard, carbide.
Did I say carbide?
No, you said cardboard.
Really? Well,
Those
My
my
cardboard.
mind
Oh,
was thinking
cardboard.
carbide.
You gotta be really good to get that cardboard to cut right.
Oh, well, it's a lot cheaper than carbide.
I didn't give up yet. Oh,
Oh,
good.
that's funny. What is that pinging I'm hearing?
That's when people sign in. I can't get it. That's when people sign into the meeting.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't have
I
it on
can't
his
make
head.
it stop.
He doesn't have it on headphones. He has it on his speakers, and that's why you hear it.
Oh,
Oh.
gotcha.
Matt.
Yep.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
You see my bobby pins here tonight? I wore my bobby pins for you tonight.
Thank you very much. Those are marvelous.
See? Yeah. See this great big one here?
Yeah.
Yeah. See that one?
I'm going to refuse to wear bobby pins. I will do anything but wear a bobby pin. I will find
Yeah.
some other way to do it, even if it's back to the shop clamps.
This one I used to have to wear to hold my bump cap on at work,
There you go.
but now I'm not working no more, so just hold the hair back tonight with that.
Very cool. Well, you were absolutely right. I mean, having something like that would be very useful.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Matt, I had one in my shop for a long time that the power line people used. I mean, it was that big. Wanted to go get it and clip it on something, but I'm not supposed to go in there right now.
Eddie, I thought you were supposed to be able to get back in the shop this week.
I had a little problem with the iFix. So,
Oh, darn.
in fact, I can't really, I've got a lot of things to do that I need to read stuff on, and I have to put it on my iPad and enlarge it and then go across the paragraphs. It's rather, tomorrow we see somebody about it and it might get fixed.
Are you still
Okay.
seeing colors?
I'm sorry?
Are you still seeing colors?
Oh, colors. Yeah, I got colors.
Great.
And
Good.
it's amazing. Really. I didn't realize I was out of colors.
I bet. How long were you colorblind?
A couple of years.
Really?
Oh, wow.
I did, when you have it, unless you need the color differentiation changes, you may not realize you actually have it.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt, I put my headset on, okay?
When I was a kid, my parents got their first color TV and were all excited. And I couldn't understand why, because it didn't look any different to me than it did weeks before. That's when I found out I'm completely colorblind. Everything's black and white and gray.
Wow.
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 Now, Dave, was that something, were you always that way or did it happen?
Yeah, I was born that way.
Okay, got it.
So you've never seen the beautiful colors of ambrosia maple, have you?
Nope. I can tell different colors of gray. I see the variations in the grays, but I don't really see the colors.
Wow.
Hey, Dave.
Yep.
Hey, have you seen those glasses that you can get? Have you
Yeah,
seen them?
I've actually seen those. I'm curious if they work or not. I tend to be skeptical, but someday I'll try one.
Man, you're gonna have to let me know because those things. I mean, it looks like they work. That'd be really neat.
I got the same opinion Dave has. White wall tires don't make my car go any faster.
But it looks cooler
Oh, yeah, it does.
and it increases your pickup quotient somewhat. I understand.
What's really disturbing is if you drive and the only way you can tell the difference between a red light and a green light is by whether it's above or below. And then suddenly there's fog and all you see is a light hanging in the sky and you don't know whether it's red or green, and you have to pull over to the side of the curb, walk up to the light and stare and figure out whether it's the light above or below. That's happened to me a few times.
Oh, wow.
I can't drive in the fog.
I remember I imagine those ones that are side to side are a real pain too.
Oh, those are a killer too. Absolutely.
Wow.
Mm,
Yeah.
wow.
The things you take for granted.
Yep.
I didn't even understand what it was until I went to the Air Force and the guy says, "Can you read that sign?" What sign? And then he traced it out one time and flipped the page, and it was easy, but I couldn't work in a bomb dump if I was colorblind. I'm trying to find, there he is. I know Dane checked in, but I couldn't find it back. It was not on my list. Got a lot of folks checking in this evening. We're up to like 44 people. It's just about the bottom of the hour. And if you like to chat, go ahead. It's open time to chat.
Hey, Eddie, I just got in here. It's Doug Rowe.
I got you now, Doug.
Hey, did you guys have a demo set up for tonight?
No, sir, I did not.
Okay. I've got something I can do that I don't know if it's going to work. We can experience it together if you want.
That's fine. Hey, we've had things blow up before.
I don't think it'll
Ask
blow
Brent.
up.
Ask Brenda.
Like,
Brenda talks about
I'm gonna go
airborne
ahead and
wood.
get for it.
Happens to me almost weekly.
Airborne wood.
It only happens to me in demos.
Yeah, birdwood.
I left you alone, Matt. Matt, I left you alone.
In all fairness, that piece lost some chunks, but it didn't actually blow up. It stayed on the lathe and I finished the demo with chunks missing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Hey, Matt,
Yes, ma'am.
you know the trick you showed us a couple weeks ago about using the Forstner bit to make
Yeah,
a
yeah.
hole
Yeah.
in like a piece of burl? I used that and loved it. It worked great.
Yeah.
Loved it.
My comment is it's got to be sharp. Don't use it for anything else except turning wood.
Oh, you Forstner bit?
Yes, that particular bit. Bits that are used on your lathe under a headstock pressure, don't use it on anything else. Gumming up, build up, burning and all will really impact that gutter. So that my only advice is use a new one or keep it really clean.
Yeah, mine are like every one of them burnt. They're not cutting very well.
My local Ace Hardware will sharpen them for me because we all get there. I tend to run them too fast when I first started turning, and I burned a bunch of them out, and I took them up to my Ace, and for not too much money, he sharpened them all. Yeah, so they got a guy who does sharpening. I don't know if he's
Even Ronnie.
Hey, there's a guy on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have heard of him or not. He's got it's an older video now, but he showed how to sharpen a Forstner bit. His name's Eddie.
that was an ancient.
Eddie Castlin, yeah.
That was an
Little
ancient
Dago
video,
from New
wasn't it?
Orleans.
Back in the dark ages, wasn't it?
It was.
Yes.
I think
When we
he's
made
got
them out of rock.
I did not know until I watched Eddie's video on how to sharpen it. I was sharpening mine all wrong.
You got to look and see what does the cutting. No matter what you sharpen, you got to look and see what does the cutting.
Good advice.
See, Ronnie's in it. All right. Wow. See Ronnie in with us tonight. Ronnie, did we see you? I'm trying to find out if I made you a co-host.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, you made
Okay.
it.
All right.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hello.
Good evening, Ronnie.
Good evening, Ronnie.
It's got to be cold where Matt's at. Matt's inside tonight.
It's actually a little toasty. It's like 32 degrees or something. So things were a little slushy earlier. So I still have
Ronnie
about
and
5-6 inches of snow on the ground. So
Ronnie and I live in New Orleans, and
You're
We
muted, Eddie.
lost you, Eddie.
Were you saying something obscene? You had to cancel out there?
yeah, it automatically adheres me. Ronnie and I live in South Louisiana. We had 70-degree weather on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We think winter's coming.
Gee whiz. Hey, Eddie, it's Doug Miller.
Hey, Doug.
I do have, I'm ready to do that demo for pulling on this thin stem if you want me to.
Hey, that'd be great.
Wait
a minute.
I got it ready. Anytime you're ready.
All right. How long will it be?
I can go 10 minutes to 30 minutes.
All right, let's split it and go 20. And Doug Rowe is going to be doing something too for us tonight.
That'll be fine. I can do it in 20. That's fine.
I got to tell you, folks, this will be a hard. I told the advisory staff this week, or advisory team, pardon me, this week. It's a long road to hoe when we got to beat what we did last week. We had an excellent program last week, a lot of information. Heck, I watched the repeat twice because things were mentioned that I had to go see. In fact, I think it was Matt showed a vacuum adapter to go into I think it was Matt, that goes into the headstock. And I had to freeze that picture and do a freeze frame on it. I had one sort of like that from JT Tools, but they're no longer around. Bill passed on.
Yeah, I was going to say somebody makes them. I'm not exactly sure. It makes them out of aluminum. I mean, mine is out of melamine or whatever, the white plastic, and it works just fine. I got the O-rings from the hardware store from my corner ace. I spent a lot of time there.
Well, Bill gave me a hand wheel, a wheel for my headstock side, and I've gotten used to my big oak one that I had made a long time ago. And when I went back to the shop years ago, I found the hand wheel, but I still haven't found the adapter. It's probably out there. We just got to find the adapter.
Yeah, I posted on my Facebook somewhere too if somebody wants a still picture.
Oh, hey, I got to mention this. We've gotten a request in from the members, that's you, can we adopt or adapt the website, probably the world's greatest wood turning website ever. Can we adapt or change the website to include email addresses of members? So if you want to go look for Matt, you don't have to go search and all. You go to our website and look it all up. Guess what? It's already there. Our webmaster, Dave, already has it on there. So if you have a website and you want Dave to include it, email it to the club. And Dave will see it put on it that the sheet says contact us because Dave sees those, and put the information in there, and Dave will add you to the list. We just don't want to collect a lot of commercial. You know what I mean?
Let me clarify that. We don't have email addresses. We have the YouTube addresses. And just in case, we do have YouTube addresses. If you want to put your YouTube on it, please send me an email or put it in the chat here and it'll end up there. We've currently got about 12, 13 sitting there. I also put up some websites that just seem to be of interest because people indicated they were websites of interest and they weren't necessarily part of YouTube. So if you have a website and you want it up there, mention that too. It'll go on that page.
Just like the chat item. We don't do it on the air. We do it in chat. We do it on a website.
Exactly.
Hey, Eddie.
Yes, sir.
Okay, back to the vacuum chucks. I told you that I had a Jet Lathe 1840. Which vacuum chuck would fit that, or are they all universal?
Oh, they're not universal. Wow.
The thing that I built for mine, okay, the thing that goes in the outboard spindle, and I don't even know what you call it, an attachment, a nipple, whatever. It's got a bearing in it and it fits my outboard spindle. So basically, I got the Powermatic. So the guy who made it for me is a friend of mine who also has a Powermatic. So he just built it on his own, based on his own. So what you do is you get a set of calipers, you measure the inner diameter of the outboard side of your spindle, and that's how big you make the little thing that goes inside there. And you make it so you can put O-rings on it to seal it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, where do you
but,
get the hose and stuff? I mean, where do you get that stuff?
Well, I mean, my system, other than that piece, my system is the Frugal Vacuum Chuck system. And I think it's called frugalvacuumchuck.com. I don't remember if that's what it is, but you can search for it and you can call that guy. And even if you build your own, if you buy your own vacuum pump and you do your own hosing and stuff, he's got some really great videos about how things work and why he sets things up the way he does. I found his lamp rod thing real cumbersome, which is why I went to the insert. But you know, all the rest of it is really solid. So,
hey people, let's try to put this on the chat.
Yep, I'll find the website and put it on chat.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey, if you're buying hose for your vacuum system, all plastic hose is not alike.
Okay.
You really want one with braiding in it. It can be clear, but it'll have the nylon braiding in it that prevents it from completely collapsing.
Okay.
Several years ago, there was a plan out there that would take a rod through your spindle and come out at your chuck, and it would have a swivel on it so that your tube wouldn't get tangled up either too.
Yeah, David, that's the Frugal Vacuum Chuck system.
Yeah.
I had that system, or I still have that system. I just found the rod length and changing chucks meant another rod. And my hardware said they don't sell them over 12 or 14 inches long. They were lying, so I found another hardware.
Hey, Eddie.
Yo.
That JT tool system, is that the same guy that had Gizmo hollowing tool?
With the can?
I don't know if he had the Gizmo.
Yeah.
He did, Ronnie? Ronnie, mute.
I believe he was in Nebraska.
Correct.
I think.
Correct.
Yeah,
he's passed away.
So he's out of business?
Yes, they're selling their business.
Oh, okay. All right.
He made some great Halloween tools. In fact, I've got a couple of the rigs that use a video monitor, and it's got a camera and a sensor and stuff where you can actually see where the cutter is inside the piece you're turning, right in front of you. It's a nifty. It's a nifty.
I've got one of those.
Yeah.
Works very good. I can't remember his name. Tom something.
Yep, that was it, Tom. And I got his business card in my file here someplace. But they were very personal people, great to help you with. When you went there, if you wanted to use one of the tools, step up and use it. They were really good. And that was at SWAT, pardon me.
When did he go out of business?
Last time I saw him was a SWAT a year and a half ago.
Okay.
He went out of business sometime in the early to mid 2020.
Okay.
He wasn't well. He'd missed some times. He didn't get to the SWAT in 2018 because he wasn't well. He made it in 2019. Anybody out there? We got some members that belong to the SWAT club. Any idea what y'all are going to do this year?
I have a tap into the individual who is the president this year and next year, and he still hasn't had any idea what they're going to do.
Hey, good to see you there. I didn't realize you were in the pile.
Several of the members of the board are from the North Texas area.
A couple of members?
Several of the members of the board are in the North Texas area, like about 75% of them.
Yeah, I know. I had to laugh at that. You know, this thing wouldn't happen away for those clubs around the Waco area and such. I mean, when I saw the rigs that your club had at SWAT 16 months ago, I thought, I'm playing with the minor league. You know, the folks up there around SWAT, you guys take it serious. But we all try to, but you guys take it serious.
Our objective is to have a better and bigger symposium than AAW.
You don't have to step long and hard for that, because I think you got them beat. A personal opinion.
They beat us every year by about a dozen to 2 dozen attendees.
But they give away tickets and you don't.
On that vacuum chuck adapter, if you go to Craft Supplies, they have one. It doesn't have the 90-degree angle that it fits into the end of the the headstock, so that you can set your vacuum up with the little rings, and they're like $65.
Mine mine doesn't have one either. The nipple just sticks right out of the bearing.
Yeah. There was a company selling, they made a really great indexing wheel, and I bought it a couple of years ago. And then in the flyer, I saw that they had one that was pretty much go through anything that had less than an inch hole in it, and it threaded up, and it had an expansive sleeve inside it, like a toggle bolt. But it didn't, you put it in, you tighten it up, and you're all right, because the bearing kept it from looping around. I wish I could find it again.
Well, if you get the one from Craft Supplies, it has a couple of O-rings. You just pop it into place, keep lube on every time you move it in and move it out of the stock, and you can put a quick disconnect air hose fitting on it for your vacuum.
Good. All right. That's a good idea. Vacuum chucking is a science. It really is. And for those that you don't believe it, you can not blow a bowl up. You can implode a bowl on a vacuum chuck. I read that someplace.
I've totally been there, man. I had a couple pieces where I just sucked the bottom of it was too thin, and it just sucked it right in.
Yours might be the one I read about, because I really don't think it ever happened to me.
We might see that tonight, because I'm going to start off on a vacuum chuck, and I don't know that my resin has cured all the way. I'm using a new resin for the first time, and I touched it, and the one side, it feels pretty solid, but the other side where I'd used packing tape, it's sticky, and I'm like, am I feeling the stickiness from the residue from the tape, or is this resin still soft? Well, we'll find out tonight.
When did I love the way you just boldly go, Doug, man.
Just roll with it.
That's right.
Doug, where'd you send?
I poured it on Sunday, and it's so I've never used this until then. I just got it, but it's Dr. Crafty, and it had some mixed reviews on Amazon, but it was cheap. And one of the guys, so the last demo that I did with the resin, where I showed where I routed out a heart, poured the resin, and then turned it, and the bell came through. I got that from R. Humphrey off YouTube. Mm-hmm. And so I'd gone back on, I was watching some of his videos after I'd seen this Dr. Crafty resin on Amazon, and he used it, and he said he got good results from it. So I thought, you know what? It's cheap. I'm going to try it. If I hate it, I'm out of about $100, and I'll figure out what I'll do with all this resin, because it's a 2-gallon kit. So 100 gallon of hardener and a gallon of resin. But at $100, that's really good money for resin if it works. If it falls apart tonight, well, then I just threw away $100 bill, and that kind of sucks. But
yeah. Hey, I heard in from the chat tonight, Dick Mueller says Tom Stever owned JT Tools. I couldn't remember the name. He was a member of the chapter in Des Moines for quite a while. Thank you. Appreciate that. And that's what our chat's all about, folks, to share information. If you got something that you want to share, like the websites we talk about, the sources, the epoxy, the acrylic that we just spoke about, all those things, if you put them in the chat before you leave at night, click on Save Chat, and it'll be on your computer. But otherwise, Dave copied it, and you can get it through our website, probably the world's greatest website, because you're tuned at quarter to the hour to the world's greatest free show. The world's greatest free show. Yeah, that's how, you know, that's so Barnum and Bailey won't sue us. We got to add some stuff in there. Who's up? Come on. Speaking of which, hey Dave,
I meant to do this earlier, but I just emailed you. Well, I might go to it went to the Worldwide Web Turners at gmail.com. My microwave burning process from last month's meeting.
Dave, you don't get it, I'll pass it along to you.
Yep. But it's in that email address now. So
thank you. And we're looking for that. I really need to apologize because of my reading problem. I could not do the newsletter this month. I'm playing with some things, but I'm having a hard time with images and all. That's going to go away. It's getting better. It was a fluke. But I apologize for not getting the newsletter out. We will catch up on that. So anybody else with chat tonight?
Hey, I wanted to tell everyone I upgraded my lights in my workshop. There's a good deal at Costco, at least in my area. I don't know when Costco puts something on sale, if it's nationwide or if it's by area. But I put some new LED lights in my ceiling, and it's however you say that, Arctica skylight. It's not a skylight, it's a shop light, but they hug tight to the ceiling. It was really easy to install. It definitely put a lot more light in here, so much so that I went and bought 7 more of them while they're on sale to put in the new shop. Done. And 3 more in my regular garage when I'm out there working on the cars. So if anybody's interested in upgrading lights in their shop and you have the regular fluorescents hanging from the ceiling, these things, man, they just wired right up. It was super easy.
All right, great. Can you put that name on our chat block, please?
I can try. I'm not Kim Tippin. I just like to dress like her.
I didn't see Kim in there tonight. Is Kim there?
Yeah, she hasn't checked in yet.
Nope.
Doug, you're going to have to start putting powder on your head due to the glare.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That light in here is really good.
Yesterday, my wife told me I needed a haircut. I think she picked this one, but she took them all off. Then she wanted to trim my eyebrows. I'm lucky I have eyebrows. She's a nut about if they poke out, you know, to keep me from entering into a wall. She's a nut about that. Hey, before we get into the demonstrations tonight, in the last couple of months, we did a little thing, a challenge. We have another one ongoing right now called the Building Materials Challenge, where we like you to present pieces that were made out of 2x4. And present is do a photograph and send it to us. Bob Moffett, you may have seen this in on our site and in our newsletter. Bob Moffett did this with a piece of antler to Eddie Castle, and thank you, Bob Moffett 2020. That is a beautiful piece. I'm trying to get away the light to get off of really well. And then I got another one here. And this one, I got to go to the card because these folks are nice enough to send me a card. Mike Love sent me this. It's a little belt.
Oh, that's nice.
And it rattles.
Yeah.
It's got a clinging thing in it. Just, you know, and that's really nice. Now, management is, since today's the 6th of January, is supposed to take down the Christmas stuff on Little Christmas for the 6th of January. That was in my house. She's going to be hanging these up in the studio up front where she has it. She loves them. They're beautiful work. The detailing, I'm going to get a better camera for this. The detailing is outstanding. I mean, and the finish is awesome. So
Yeah,
thank you,
really nice.
gentlemen. I really appreciate it. All these things go in a collection. I wouldn't dare sell anything that one of you folks send me. I get ink pens with Air Force ammo stuff on it and all that. It's kind of a thing where we all have a little something in our heart, don't we? Got to remind y'all, it's membership renewal time. If you haven't paid for your membership, you're one of the lucky ones. So, I think Doug is collecting that money this year because
Hey, Eddie, I didn't get no card.
You didn't get a card?
No, I didn't get a membership card.
You have to pay twice to get the car. And if you want your name spelled right, don't get it from Doug.
Hey, Eddie, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Just before I forget, what size drill bit do I need for those bars I got from you?
I normally do a 5/8 for a 1/2 inch bar, and then put epoxy in hole and insert the bar in and put the, get this, drill the hole, put the epoxy in, and then put the bar in. And
how far down do?
3 inches.
Okay.
That's what you need. Cool. If you want them shorter, make it less. You don't route out 2 pieces of wood and glue them together and all that stuff. Not necessary. Once you do a good epoxy bond on it, the handle absorbs the vibration from the bar and the handle absorbs the vibration, and the cutter it has a less tendency to break, but they're still carbide. They're still not flexible. And the key to that is never attack it flat. Attack it on the angle, just like you do every other tool.
Yeah.
Mr. Soleil tells us that all the time. If you attack and then engage, attack, engage. And so many folks say, but I see it on YouTube, this guy's doing this and that. Be aware.
You put a ferrule on that?
Yeah, I normally do just for decoration, but yes.
If you guys want to see it, I'll show you mine. This one's a Eddie Castellan build.
I didn't build that.
You didn't build it, but it was your idea.
Okay.
This was Doug Rowe, not knowing what in the world he was doing. Called a guy named Eddie Castellan, and he walked me through it. Let me
point. How'd you drill that square hole?
I used the square bit on that one.
I have one out there that'll drill a 1/2 inch square hole.
Order, sir.
I got one too.
It's one of my mortise machines.
Okay, know what I mean. So that right there was a closet dowel to hang your clothes on. That was Eddie's idea. My wife doesn't know I took it out yet. I'm just kidding. And that's the brass coupler from probably Home Depot. Might have been Lowe's. Could have been Ace because I go to all of them. That's the bar from Eddie. And that's the cutter. Another trick I got off of actually one of his videos. The screw, if you feel like it's not getting your cutter tight enough, just get glue in there. And then it'll break free when you go to rotate your cutter or change out your cutter.
The only practical use for a cigarette lighter. Warm it up a little bit and it'll pop off.
And then there's plenty of videos on there now on YouTube on how to sharpen these bad boys. So when that round one goes all the way around, it's not ready for the trash can. You can actually sharpen that up again.
Okay, all the promotion you gave me, which isn't permitted here, then you got to shoot me in the foot. Okay.
Well, no, if we said we're not promoting tools, we're showing options. This is an option.
Okay.
There are other options to buy these bars and cutters. If you want to spend more money, you can go to these other sites.
Hey, Eddie, does that mean I have to make a bar because now you've given me a couple of those cutters that swat over the years?
No, you don't have to make a bar. But I can't go any further than that.
Okay, if you want to go to make a bar, here's where I got really. And again, this was not my idea. I pulled this off of somebody else's YouTube channel, but that is your 3-pack pry bar at Harbor Freight for like $8, whatever it was. That's the biggest pry bar. Cut the end off, squared up. Mine's not square because I suck at what I did, but it works. And there's my square cutter. So my round cutter's on the other one and my square cutter's on that. I use this one for like a lot of real rough turning when I first put a log on there, a spindle or something. And I don't care how bad my tool is going to shake around and whatever. I beat the heck out of this thing because again, it's just a pry bar from Harbor Freight.
The wood turner's resource.
Yeah.
Alrighty, it's about 5 minutes to the hour. We have 2 demonstrations to get in here tonight. Right here, you're looking at Doug Rowe in his shop in someplace out west. And we also have Doug Miller with us. Last week in our shop review and chit chat about tools, Doug talked, talked about a negative pull on turning a goblet with a fine stem. We'll get to that demonstration also tonight, but Doug Rowe says he's got one here and we might watch it blow up. We've called Brenda. Brenda's on her way over, Doug.
Perfect.
I know he's going to put a safety shield on, right?
Yeah.
No.
Well, Brenda can...
Oh my gosh! Why would I want to? I can only improve this face, right? Yeah, I'll definitely have a shield on. So, are we about ready to kick it off then?
You can go, sir. Let me do. Hold on 1 second. Let me do the intro because we want to have this thing done right. Pull the spotlight off you and get right over here. Hi, folks. Good evening. If you're just joining us, this is worldwidewoodturners.org. It is the world's most free website and club for turning wood. It's the greatest free show on earth. If you want to be part of our group, join us. If you want to see what we do, go to our website, worldwidewoodturners.org. You want to contact us, it's worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. Or there's a contact sheet on our website. Tons of stuff on our website because we're out to share wood turning information like nobody else in the world ever has or ever will. And you're part of that group. So if you know of something you want to share with us, just like we got Doug and some other folks sharing with us tonight, you're right in here. And Doug Miller's in Kentucky. He's going to do something. We got Doug Rowe out in Arizona. And we're going to do these demos this evening. But again, you are invited to be part of this crew. And it's a fun thing. So let's get on with Doug. You're back on Spotlight, Doug. And as I say, it's your show.
Okay, so here's what we got going on. A couple of weeks ago, I did a demo where I took a blank, routed out the shape of a bell, poured the resin, let the resin get hard, flipped the blank back over. As I hollowed it out, you saw the bell come through, and that was the bottom of the bowl. So similar project, only this one's done on a scroll saw. So the bowl was turned almost complete, a little bit thicker than what we want. And then I took a pattern off of Steve Goodman's Scroll Saw Workshop. He's got tons of free patterns. Dropped that in the bottom of the bowl, ran it through the scroll saw, got my pattern, went back to the workbench and did 2 different pours of resin because I wanted 2 different colors. And if this all works tonight, you'll get to see where the 2 colors are. And then I'll explain how I poured it and how all that came together, how I filled the hole with resin and didn't get resin everywhere. I'll walk you through that process. Here's the scary part, folks. I've never used this resin before. So this is called Dr. Crafty's resin. I got it off Amazon Prime. I threw the name in the chat, but if somebody's smarter than me, which is probably just about all of you, and know how to actually put a link to it in Amazon Prime, cool. But otherwise, just go to Amazon Prime if you're interested in it. It's they got a couple of different options on how you can buy it. I went with the 2-gallon kit. Okay, so what I did off camera when we were getting the meeting set up was I am using my vacuum chuck now because there's no mortise or tendon anymore because it's already been to the scroll saw. It's already got the resin poured in it. So how did I get it centered back up? I used my center finder on the bottom of the bowl, found center, used the tailstock. It gets you real close. Sometimes I've been lucky where I didn't have to adjust it all after that, but usually it still takes a little fine tuning, and tonight took me a little fine tuning, got it as best I could, and then I went ahead and just used my scraper and rounded it one more time just to make sure it'll turn true. And hopefully I didn't bump it too much before we get started. But at any rate, now I'm going to turn the vacuum chuck on. I'm going to pull the tailstock away, and I'm going to turn out my mortise again. You're going to see the mortise for this bowl is way too big. The reason was I had my big jaws on my chuck and I was too lazy to change them. So we're going to stick with that same way too big of a mortise. But that's the only reason why I went with the extra large mortise. It's not for strength, it's stability. It's just because I was too lazy to change out jaws. So with that said, the vacuum chuck is on. Hopefully everything's holding. Shield's going down. I'm going to back the tailstock away. Remove the live center because we know what that does to elbows if you don't.
Hey, Doug, what pattern did you embed in the bottom?
Say that one more time.
What's the skull pattern you used?
I'll show you when it comes through. And I'll
Good
tell
job.
you what,
Good job. Good surprise.
if it works, it's because the Army did it. If it fails, it was the Navy's fault.
Well, I'm not glad the Air Force ain't involved in that.
Right. The Air Force is not involved in this one. But we may do one in the near future for the Air Force.
The Air Force might be there because if he goes flying, they might have to look for it.
This is true.
Air Force has plausible deniability.
But the Coast Guard goes for search and rescue.
So does Civil Air Patrol.
Doug, you're using a vacuum chuck. You're using a Powermatic. Is that the built-in unit?
Correct. Yes, it is.
Okay, just to clarify.
I do not understand how that works. I'm shoving air in and it's creating a vacuum, but whatever. It works.
Venturi system.
That's the name of it. Okay, the cutter I'm going to be using on this one is the Easy Wood negative rake. Again, that just happens to be what's on this tool, but there's plenty of ways to do it. You can cut with traditional tools if they're sharp enough, but I think just to save time, we're going to stick with this one. And here we go. It didn't fly off the vacuum chuck, so so far so good.
Is that flat on a tool rest or you got it kicked on an angle?
Just a slight angle.
All right.
And it doesn't sound good. No, I think we're doing all right.
How fast are you?
Right now, I'm just trying to get a flat surface to work with. And then pretty much the blue that you see is the filled in mortise that we need to turn back out so we can reverse chuck this. And I think I heard somebody ask how fast I'm going. Ooh, we need to change that. That's bad luck. Okay,
Correct.
We're going
421.
The right speed.
668. We're at 668, 667, 668, 667. So we're right in there. But we're no longer on 666.
That's 640 when you put the tool to it.
If those numbers mean anything to you, you're still a rookie. Turn it at the safest speed you can turn it.
That's right.
Is that according to Jimmy Clues?
I'm not a great fan of Jimmy the Flying Bull Clues. That's all.
Oh, it is pretty soft. Okay. Well, let's see what happens.
Famous last words. Here, hold my beer.
Yep.
It's sucking on your resin into your vacuum.
Well, it's a good thing we're a family show. Because when it does happen, Doug will rename people.
Now I'm just using a regular parting tool, nothing fancy.
You're just trying to hog out the resin right now.
This is all extra resin that we don't need for anything. So we just need it to go away to make a mortise again.
Need it to go on the floor.
Video's doing a little chopping, Doug. Now you're back.
So Doug, Clint Doyle said he's used that resin before, and he said it took about 2 days for it to finally cure and be hard to turn.
Yeah, I poured this on Sunday.
Wow.
Well, you know what? I take that back. I poured the gold on Sunday. I poured the blue on Monday. So yeah, the blue, which is there's more blue than gold, it has only had since Monday, Tuesday, and now today. So.
Did you not put it in a vacuum pot?
The gold I did not. The blue I did.
Thank you, Dane, for passing along those questions. Really
you're
handy.
welcome. Trying to catch them.
Folks, if you've got a question that you need to pass along to Doug and you may be a little slow to ask it or reluctant to, put it in the chat. We'll let him know.
And if you want your name withheld, just say no name or anonymous, whatever. So take care of you.
Boy, that is a big.
Deeper. You gonna use the 5-inch jaws on that, Doug?
I am.
Okay.
Not because it's necessary, just because I didn't change them out.
Right. We've all been there.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
I want to go a little deeper, but I'm nervous. I don't want to punch through.
Little editorial comment here before Doug continues on is, if you're a new member or you're a seasoned turn or whatever, and you're wondering why he's being careful in doing this, we all do it. We all do. But then we're going to learn and maybe get some tips and hints on how to avoid problems. So that's why we continue.
And if anybody has anything to show tonight, go ahead and pop it into the chat and I'll get your name written down. We've got folks chiming in already, so.
Should have a good gallery to look at stuff.
Doug, if that thing really gets dirty over there, I understand that Ronnie Bonnet knows how to use a broom around the shop. We can get him out there for you. If you're just joining us, this piece is being held by a vacuum chuck. The speed's about 660 plus minus. And he's using a carbide cutter, and he's got that bar tipped up on or down on the left-hand shoulder, not to have it flat. So he is doing a slicing cut versus a plow.
I really need to get all that off, but for demonstration purposes, we're just going to leave it there.
Doug, how many inches of vacuum are you pulling?
Gauge is at 12 o'clock. What's that mean?
It's about 2022.
I have my glasses on. I can't see it.
Oh my God, he's turning his glasses on.
I don't need them for this part, but I need them for little numbers like that. Oh. I know I keep going back and forth on you guys here, but I just want to make sure that I'll be able to grab it with the chuck when I turn this around. Oh.
If your gauge is like mine, straight up is about 15 pounds or 15 inches rather.
Okay, my ear tells me that's getting pretty thin, so we're just gonna have to call it. All right, let me make sure I'm in the range of close enough. Uh-oh, I might have gone too big. Not too big that the truck's not gonna fit, but too big that these jaws are gonna open wider than I wanted them to. Yeah, it did.
Don't worry, Doug. Well, I've been there too.
We all have.
Yep.
Yep. I just wonder why Doug did make one of those gizmos to have a gauge. That's a nifty tool. Oh, wait, he does have it. Just maybe not that right size.
You got to use it before it works.
If you have it, you're lying.
Okay. Well, let's find out.
Might mention while Doug is doing this, if you have a vacuum chuck with a ring like that, do not put the foam down on your workbench. You want to put the hub down on your workbench because whatever damage you do to that foam might stay and it makes a weak point in your vacuum.
So here's a mistake I don't want to tell you how many times I've made. Leaving that in and then putting a spur drive in and then going, now what do I do?
Why the gods made channel lock wrenches.
You would think I would have only made that mistake once, though. No, I did it a few times.
I stepped up into the deity. I have the deity. I have a vice grip.
Plug your air hose in it and blow it up.
Whoa, now we're in front of the professionals. Folks, it's 13 minutes after the hour. You're invited to be part of this. If you have a question or comment, feel free to put it in the chat or press the space bar and go ahead and ask the question. We're a family program. Profanity is absolutely not permitted. So.
Doug,
not very easy for some of us.
Doug,
I know that.
Back on in the same orientation. Did you keep track of jaw number one?
Jaw number one.
Come on, the way he chopped on that thing, there's no way.
It's fairly close. I could probably true it up just a little bit more, but we're just gonna roll with it. Okay, so you all see nothing but blue resin right here. If this works, when it comes through, you're going to see the pattern. You're going to see the blue resin that should be there. You're going to see the gold resin that should be there. And all this excess resin will just go down on the ground. And we're getting an amber alert. Arizona temperatures.
All right. Doug is
okay. Are y'all still there?
We're here, Doug.
Okay, I just got an amber alert out here in Arizona. Dane probably got it too. So might need a second for him to pop back on if we lost him.
Dane says it shows that Dane's on.
Okay. I still hear it popping up through my phone.
Yep, we must be out that way because we just had a couple other folks get bumped.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. Can y'all hear me?
Yep. Yeah.
Gotcha, Dane.
Amber alert out in Mesa, I think is what I just saw.
Fine, outstanding Utes they're looking for.
Yeah. All right. Sealed back on. We're gonna go real slow just so we find center right quick.
Hey Doug, have you ever thought about using locking collar bars on your tool rests?
Oh, you're talking about those things where it only drops down so far?
Right.
I had that on my old lathe. But
I have them on all my tool rests. It's just super handy. That way you don't have to worry about finding center again.
But so how do you do it when you're using different size tools? So like when I change over to something else and the tool's a different thickness, then I need to adjust my tool rest.
Sure. You know, if you're going down, to the 3/8 inch size, then
okay.
You have to adjust or
Because that's why when I got the new lathe and the different tool rests, I didn't use one anymore. I was like, that thing, it seemed like it took more time to then take it off and set it up with a new tool and switch back and forth.
Right. Well, the majority of my tools are 3/4 inch round, so.
Okay.
The smaller.
All right, so here we go again.
Safety is important. That's why Doug is wearing the shield, and that's why he stops his machine before he changes the height of his tool rest. It's all in the safety procedures.
Yes.
Dane, I cheated on that gauge thing. I put my tool rest at dead center and took my hacksaw and pulled the ring around my shaft.
Yep, that's another way too.
Yeah, and that way I can eyeball it from there on.
Right. But it's handy to have a quick reference, when you drop them in. That way you don't get out of your mojo rhythm when you're trying to set everything up.
Somebody on Facebook or YouTube had one where he cut it out of different thicknesses of a plastic product. Right. And you put the plastic product on top of the tool rest, drop the post down until the tool rest hits it, and right. You're in the ballpark. There's a million ways to do it. We're going to share them all.
Right.
Did mine with corian.
I can believe that. I would. You cut the width of the corian to fit up against it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We all keep talking about corian and won't be any scraps for any of us out there.
I'm all set for the foreseeable future.
I'm down to about 200 pounds, so I got to be careful.
Yeah, right.
When I was six years ago or so, my wife and her family came and cleaned up my yard, and there's probably a ton of it out there, and it's all gone.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, they thought it was scrap.
Yeah.
but then some of the turning tools I made out there were going too, and they thought that was scrap. I see Brace from Indiana says he's got a flying bowl to show us later on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do a little bit of gallery between the two demonstrations because we have Doug Miller in Kentucky is going to do a demonstration on the negative tension for a spindle in a little bit. That's interesting. I've done it a couple of different ways. I want to see the way Doug does it because he did something last week that was awesome.
We're looking
I
forward to
got,
that.
grass for the Easter baskets now come March or April, whenever Easter is this year. Okay, I'm starting to see some wood in there, so we're getting closer.
I thought that was a new type of spaghetti.
Yeah, that could be.
Angel
Spaghetti
hair.
I thought it was hair. I keep it and put it on my head.
Don't give me any ideas, Jack.
Okay.
I'm gaining, Jack.
Put it on your chin at Christmas time. You'll be Santa Claus.
I like it.
I don't think I need that.
I thought you were all tied up.
See, if he has all that string and then he gets earrings, we'll never get dug out of the mode again. Did you increase speed?
Yeah, I'm at 668 right now.
Okay.
My mortise is not very deep at all, so if I get any catch, this thing's gone. So close. I should probably just get more aggressive and just jam it in there, right? And get it done?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
That's what I would do.
What I would do too. Go for it.
Then they fly.
I got my glove on, so I'm ready. We got about 85, 86 people watching tonight. Good turnout considering there's nothing on regular television.
I can't even tell you guys how many phone calls I got today. Are you going to have to go? No. No.
I think that is a correct way of doing it, finessing your way into the bowl.
Yes.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I think that is the correct way of doing it, finessing it, trying to just a little at a time, take your time, and don't overdo it. That's the way you won't have it flying on you.
Are you guys able to see the gold coming through yet right here?
Barely,
Yes.
but yes.
Barely?
Yes.
I wonder if I stick some light behind. Well, I'll bump the phone if I do that. Okay, we'll just keep
Nope. Don't make any changes. I think you're doing well. Please.
Yeah, 'cause when you put the direct light on.
Somebody was asking what brand face shield you're using.
It's the one from Amazon.
Ionics. $24.99.
Dane, your volume is just barely. We're barely hearing you.
Thank you. I was wondering who that was.
Yes,
How
Dane,
about
but no better.
No better?
So Doug, when you didn't cut the other side?
I did already.
Yeah, can hardly hear you.
Ow.
No.
Crap. What's wrong?
We've had a few folks join us in the last few minutes. We have Doug Moore. He's in Doug Rowe, pardon me. He's out in Arizona, and he's got this piece he turned. He's using a new kind of epoxy that he found. That's in the chat where he got it from and what it's called. And it's a little bit tender. So he's using a scraper on it to get it down to shape. And it's going to have a couple of colors and some pattern in it when he wraps up.
How's my microphone volume now?
There you
Much
go.
better.
Much better.
Great.
Even I can hear you now.
Well, that's important.
Novice turners, pay attention to what Doug's doing right now. He's starting from the center and pulling out, and he's going to eliminate, if he went the other way, he may create a divot if you go pushing in. So his drawback cut is a good way to eliminate that divot. You get better control on the drawback than you do on the push.
Well, it's almost there. We just got this, but the bottom's starting to come. We're real close to being done. So just where the resin wasn't level, I guess.
Resin looks like it's cured in that section that you're cutting.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, only time will tell.
A little more. The Navy is almost with us.
Folks, our website is www.worldwidewoodturners.org. And on the cover page, you will see a map of where Worldwide Woodturners are, because you're all over the place. If you want to get your address included, just add it to a text on the site, on our contacts, on our contact page on the site, and that will go right to our website manager and creator, and he'll use it. We'll add to it. We want to cover the world, David.
Sounds thin.
Yeah. You know, it's thin when it talks back to you. How fine he can make that cutter on a pullback with a little bit of angle on that tool. Notice he's got the tool kicked down on the left-hand shoulder.
Oh, we're so close. So close.
Yep, it's thin.
It's either going to make it or break it.
I hate when they say that.
One last cut.
Yeah.
Like
Walk away.
Final cut to smooth it up.
All right, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really nervous.
Okay, you do, if you try to sand it at that and it's not as dense as you'd like, it will just come up, overheat, and leave town.
God, I'm nervous just watching it.
I was holding my breath.
I know, I was too.
I need to do my little Sharpie trick right quick. Where is my Sharpie right here? So I don't remember which one of y'all I learned this from, but
when there's a particular area that you want to focus on, which for me is there to there. So I'm
The
gonna
chalk
go
trick.
here. And I know I don't
Where
really
to
need to
keep your
cut
breath.
that side. It may make an uneven bowl, but this is so thin, I don't want to keep going here to get to there. And well, you know what I'm talking about.
What are you doing?
He's highlighting the rough area that he wants to turn down and allow him to avoid cutting the side of the bowl that's already perfect for him.
No
You can do
way.
it. You can do it with a piece of chalk, but since the sidewalk incident in front of the house, I'm not allowed to have chalk.
So when the mark, that's when you know you're good.
It's just giving me a border.
So when you use chalk and you rub that, mark that over the rough spot on your bowl, and then when it's turning, you can see it, and you know the area that you need to concentrate on to remove, the defective grain.
Well, I'll be.
And the beauty of the chalk is it will go to the deepest part of the
right
of the distressed
Crater,
area.
crevice.
Okay.
But yeah, I keep chalk sitting right up on top of the headstock, and that's part of my final cut process is lining out, seeing how the chalk feeds into the grain, and then I use that for my final shear scraping.
Another tip right here on worldwidewoodturners.org.
And you can do the same thing when you're sanding. You cover, mark over it with the chalk, and then go through your sanding process. And once all the chalk is gone, you've got your bowl sanded perfectly.
So you just kind of sneak into it first. I mean, instead of just going into it, you just kind of sneak into it.
Yeah, it's at slow speed, and you just put your chalk on it.
I'm not muted.
Or if it's an individual spot, like the end grain on the outside of a bowl, mark on it with the chalk, and then just concentrate working on that area to remove that stubborn grain.
Oh, it's an anchor.
I'm gonna hit it with a touch of CA glue, and I think it'll show up better for you guys. Let me
You can just shoot it with some denatured alcohol.
I guess I could. Yeah, it's already here.
I do. Man, that thing's gonna pop. Oh yeah.
Wow, awesome.
Good.
Soup the nuts in 33 minutes, folks.
Oh, I'm not gonna throw this in the trash can. If you're not familiar with CA glue, it kind of gets a little smoky. So I just throw it outside. It gets hard, and then I'll throw it away later.
You also know if you throw it in the trash can, it'll stick to the can. Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
Bob Moffitt just joined us this evening. Hi, Bob.
Evening, Bob.
We talked about your ornaments earlier, Bob. Thank you.
Okay, so.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Looks good.
That's nice. Oh, that's
Now
cool.
Absolutely.
That is
Very nice. Very nice.
Now I know why he wanted to blame the Navy.
So, okay, so now I'll walk you through right quick how this process happens. It's actually pretty simple. So, in my opinion, wood turning is way more fun and way more satisfying to me than scroll saw work.
but I think scroll saw work is a bazillion times easier because you're just following a pattern. So I found me a simple pattern. Again, turn the bowl first. And I turned it on a mortise, not a tenon. Turn the bowl down, leave it a little bit thicker than what you want it to be on your end result. Then you drop your pattern in, take it to the scroll saw. Well, drill press first because you got to put a bunch of holes in there. And then over to the scroll saw. Now you've got a bowl with this pattern cut out in it. Then you just take regular old packing tape and run it across the bottom. Then I did the gold first. So I poured the 2 stars and the US Navy. You can pour the gold at the same time, but here's the advantage to not. And this happened to me. So when I poured the gold, some of the gold got into the blue area. You're not going to really clean it up. It's resin, right? It's just going to smear everywhere. So just let it get hard. Then once it's done, take it back to the scroll saw and just cut out whatever gold resin fell into where you wanted the blue. Then again, retape, pour the blue, let it set again till it's all nice and hard. When I poured the blue, what I did when I put the packing tape is I didn't put the tape on there tight like I did with the gold. I put the blue all the way, or the tape all the way across in order for the resin to fill the mortise. Because when I scroll sawed this out, of course, I ruined the mortise. There's all kinds of crazy lines in here following this pattern. So that's why I needed the resin to fill the mortise back up so then I could turn a new mortise. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Obviously, so I'm going to be doing this demo for my local club. And the idea is I'm going to have done in stages because we only meet once a month. So I'm going to have to do it in stages. So it's like a cooking show and I can be like, okay, I've done this. And now, oh, look, the resin's dry. And so I can show it in different stages. But if I was to actually do this to where it was going to be sold or be a gift, then obviously I'm going to clean it all up, sand it and whatnot, and probably find a cooler pattern that said Army or something. But since it's just for demo purposes, you can see one right there, mistake right there on the U. The U broke off when I was scrolling it out. So I just did the best I can with it. But if anybody's got any questions, I'll take them. Otherwise, we can move on to the gallery.
Okay, so we got a question in chat. One asking how you colored the resin. What'd you use to color the resin?
Oh, Doug.
Uh-oh.
Come on back, Doug.
Did you fall
There
down,
we
Doug?
go. Okay, so you got me back?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I dropped the phone. The resin that I used on this particular bowl is not that. That is gloves. Oh, here it is. Leo Bro, I think is how you say it, but there it is. Is that backwards?
Oh, we see it right. It's Libro.
Okay. Anyway, that's off Amazon Prime. I got it when I bought the resin. So without ever using this resin before and knowing that I definitely.
Doug, you're skipping out once again.
Really no pitting or anything. It's just not a good finish because obviously I didn't sand anything and I was not very gentle when I put the CA glue on it. But I don't know. It's kind of cool when you hold it up to the light.
It's beautiful. Folks, there you had it. Soup to nuts in 30 minutes with Doug Rowe out in Arizona. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate the demonstration this evening, sir.
Very nice.
Betcha.
Very nice.
Good job, Doug.
Good job, Doug.
Happy to do it.
Doug Rowe is a member of our active military, and Doug collects freedom pens. What's a freedom pen? You turn a pen and you ship it to Doug. Doug gives it to one of the people protecting our freedom in our world. Pretty simple, isn't it? But there's a whole lot of those people out there. but not a whole lot of those Freedom pens. So if you get a little time this winter, spin a Freedom pen and send it on to Doug. He puts his address in our chat. And if you need more information, it's on our website, www.worldwidewoodturners.org. And before we go to gallery, if you see all this around tonight, last week in my rehab time, I put it in Facebook that I was looking for a way to add things or put stuff on to alter what we do on Worldwide Wood Turning. And I got responses back from 50 or 60 people, and they told me how to go OBS, NDI, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I've been playing with it as I can lately, and my wife's been a great help with me. Management's kind of keep me sane. But this is what we're working on right now. But it's going to allow us to inject video that you provide, photographs that you provide, and all that. And another reminder, if you take a photograph of your work, mail it to us at worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. With that, we're going to go to Dane, one of our team members, and he handles our gallery for us. He'll put you on the spotlight after he introduces you. Pardon me, I'm getting all choked up. Dane, you got anybody to bullpen?
Yes, sir. We are going to our constant normal of Doug Miller out in Kentucky. If I can find his name.
Here I am. There you are.
He's going to do a little demo for us in a little while.
Yeah. But I've also got I'm on several groups over on YouTube, and of course, with COVID and everything, that's gotten to be huge with all the demonstrations and whatnot. And anyway, one of the fellows over in England came up with a challenge for January: turn a clock. And so I had the parts and the pieces. And so I did this sits on a table or on a desk. There it is. This is a piece of, I think it's red oak. I'm not real sure. It was not labeled before I started turning it. But yeah, just a nice little clock insert with a AAA battery. Should run for about a year or so, and then replace the battery. This clock just slides out without any problem. Right back in.
That's a nifty challenge project, because no matter what you turn it out of and how it works, people all need a clock. Unless you're a millennial and you're going to school, you got to have a digital clock. But the rest of us can go hands in hands.
Yeah.
There you go. My sister saw it about 5 or 10 minutes after I posted it on Facebook, and she said, "That sure would look good on my desk." I said, "That's fine. All you got to do is drive from North Carolina to Kentucky and pick it up."
Not a long trip, is it?
Yeah, about 6 or 7 hours.
All right, not a long trip.
It's a pretty drive.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doug. We'll get back to you in a little bit with the demonstration. And before the demonstration, we're going to have Jeff Schnell get with us about our safety moment. But let's go back to gallery. Dane's got the next guy up.
Brent, you're up, buddy.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, how you doing?
So, a while back, I had a project that I wanted to cut it on a bandsaw, but had no way of holding it safely. So I don't even remember what the project was, but I had this jig in my mind forever since. So this week I built a jig to hold a turning on a bandsaw. Let's see if I can swap cameras here. So,
oh yeah.
So what I got here, you see it. This here.
I still see Doug. I don't see Brent yet. Is anybody else seeing Brent?
I see Brent.
I'm seeing Brent.
Yeah. Brent
Right.
spotlighted.
I'm seeing Brent.
What I did, I had this adapter on a 1 1/4 inch threaded thing on a Morse taper for lining up my vacuum chuck projects. So I cut a Morse taper in this. I drilled indexes all around that. So I set that Morse taper in there. Set my indexes on here. I can rotate things, rotate whatever as it's sitting on the bandsaw. Then I wanted to be able to adjust the angles on it. So I got
nice
here. I can set it. I got detents for
Still seeing
45
Doug.
So I got detents here
I'm
for
seeing
45
I'm seeing Brent.
degrees. Do I need to stop?
No, you're
Still
fine. Go
seeing
ahead.
Doug.
Hey, he's okay. I see him.
So I got detents for 45 degrees here for anywhere on there, and for 90 degrees on there. And then I got these little metal adapters here that allow me to put this on here so I can adjust it for any angle in between. So that allows me to roll my chuck onto here.
There we go.
Lost him now.
Oh. Oh. Yeah.
Brent, stand by 1 second. We got you again.
There we go.
I got you back.
Okay.
He's back.
So I can put that in there, rotate this anywhere at any angle. Then I got this sitting on this plate here that I can put pivots on here and pivot across there in any direction, front or back, with lots of little holes across here that allow me to adjust the depth in and out.
Right.
I got it attached to my fence here as opposed to the miter slot, so I can just tweak a button here in and out, see how close I want to get it. Plus, I can also take this unit here off and just ride it this way into the bandsaw against the fence and such. So.
Hey Brent, do you have a piece that shows what the end result of using that jig?
I don't. I made some sawdust with it the other day, but I think that stuff's gone to the fireplace. So
Brent's going to show us because this is, I'm not going to use the word carefully, a copy of a commercial device that costs a lot of money. It looks like Brent's got all the bells, all the whistles, and some frills.
That's slick. I like it, Brent.
Yeah,
he does.
Thank you.
I
This was
like
many
it.
hours.
Pretty slick.
Yeah, this was many hours laying awake at night pondering. So
Yeah, I made a copy of the one that John Beaver uses there. That it works rather well too.
yeah, I think it might be a little overkill on some things. I don't necessarily need the angle adjustment. We could do that with just adjusting the table on the bandsaw, but that's kind of a pain on this thing. Plus, then you got to hold it when it's wanting to fall off and everything. So.
I like it, Brent. I think it's a gorgeous thing. Thank you for sharing it with us, sir.
You're welcome. So
that was awesome. Thank you.
For all the holes, did you drill all those with a CNC so they were all precise, or just map them out and drill them next to one another on the drill press?
No, what I did is actually, let's take this off of here. So. So what I did is I drilled the first row here where these go threaded into, and then I just put a square against there, drilled it, and so I actually used the pivot and drilled it where it needed. Otherwise, I didn't think I'd get it straight. So.
Geez, what a talented guy.
No kidding. He's making wood turners look bad.
Man.
I don't know about that, but.
All right.
No, that's good stuff.
It's fun.
Beautiful.
So,
thank you again. Thank you, Brent. We're going to go back to gallery right now.
You're welcome.
Hi, George. You're up, buddy.
George, unmute.
There we go.
There you go. We got you.
All righty. I got a. Can you see it?
Yes.
I like the chatoins on that. That's nice.
That's a piece of big leaf curly maple. Hi, Brett.
Well, we have a little problem getting rid of some of the switches, but it's okay.
Is it all hollowed out on the inside, George?
Oh yeah, about a quarter inch thick. This was on. I go through stages. This was my hollow staging year. I was doing all kind of hollow forms, and but it's a pretty piece of wood.
Yes, it is.
Beautiful.
What'd you use for a finish?
I think that's just tung oil.
Yep.
Either tongue oil or boiled linseed oil.
Right. Yeah, it looks nice.
Thank you.
Very good.
Had a good finish on it.
Nice.
The finish
All right.
only goes over the top of a good finish, and that's a good finish. All right, who else we have?
Let's see. We got Carl in Atlantic City.
Right.
Carl.
Howdy, sir.
Okay, how are you doing tonight?
We're all good. How about you?
Good. I showed this piece last week, the one I had done, and I got another one that I finished this week, a little bit bigger.
Wow.
Wow.
13 inches across by 6.5 inches deep. And
Very nice.
Maple that's spalted. And I'm really happy with this. Used boiled linseed oil and then Axe paste on it. Came up very nice.
Yes, it did.
Really beautiful.
Good job.
grain in it.
It's gorgeous wood.
Thank you. My neighbor had 2 trees taken down, and I got a pretty good supply of it.
Lucky you. All right.
sir.
Thank you very much. Well,
Thanks
let's.
for sharing.
So,
What kind of wood is that again?
Maple.
Maple. Okay.
I think they call it swamp maple. Locally around here is.
okay, James is up now. How you doing, sir?
Good, good. I've got a couple bottle stoppers here for everybody tonight. 50 caliber shells with Purple Heart as the wood, with boiled linseed oil as the finish, and I've got some inserts if y'all can see them.
You hold them up.
Lift them up.
There you go.
We're all going. Lift them up.
I don't know why we keep losing. I don't know why the spotlight keeps turning off.
I can't get him. I'm trying. I can't even find his picture in here.
I got him. I got him again.
There we go.
That's cool.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Good job.
Thank you.
Are they just are they C8 in or
Yes, sir.
epoxy? Yep.
No, they're just C8. I could control the C8 a little bit better on this small space.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very nice. It's a good job.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Appreciate
There's
it.
a lot of us. There's a lot of us that know exactly what that is on the bottom. But
Yes.
There's probably a few that don't. So why don't you go ahead and explain what that is on the bottom?
These are Purple Heart awards for the guys that have been injured in combat. This one is the ribbon, and this one's the like a little medallion.
That is
We've got
one of few awards that none of us ever want to earn.
Right.
Exactly.
That's one that you don't have the intention of winning.
Exactly. I'm trying to find some Purple Heart pin pieces, clips, and make a bunch of them, take them to BAMC, Brooke Army Medical Center here in San Antonio.
That's awesome.
That would be great.
A
Good stuff.
When you do that, we'd like you to share the photographs with us.
Sure will.
Okay.
Thank you very
James.
much for that. That was that was well done.
And earlier, Rick said something about all those folks from that area of Waco. James is from one of those crowds called the Alamo Returners.
Yeah, we're from San Antonio.
Yeah. Yeah. Texas holds a rule.
All right.
There. What
Thank
else we
you.
have?
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Joaquin, American Dream. What you got for us?
Well, Paul on? Paul?
Yeah, I'm here.
Paul Hanemy on there? Well, you know, last week he did the bud bases. And so I got to thinking about, I've got these tubes out here and I've had them for about 5 years, hadn't used them. So I thought I ought to make some for it. And I see I'm not highlighted. Can you?
Oh,
no, you're highlighted.
You were.
Well, you were highlighted.
Okay. This is, oh, there we go. This is mesquite. And the pit's on a 45 here. This was cut on a bias, this piece. And so the pit's cracked and I put magnesite stone in that side and over here. And this is for a 1-inch tube. I had some 1-inch tubes. And so there's your bud base, Paul.
Very nice. Well done.
Okay.
Very nice.
But then I got to thinking about the 2x4 challenge. I need to do something for the 2x4 challenge. So I thought I would continue. And so I made a bud base with the 2x4 channel, 2x4, a little bit of progress on it.
That's neat. Keep
Honeybee.
That's pretty neat.
Very nice work.
Thank you. And so
Well, you're in the 2x4 club now.
all right, thank you.
Good job.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
Keith,
Enjoyed
where'd
it.
you get those tubes from?
Where did I
Where'd
get
you
what?
get those tubes? Where'd you get those tubes
Michael's.
from?
They were
Michael's
given to me about 5 years ago from a wood turner that his wife, he had passed away, and she gave them to me. And I've never seen the 1 inch like that. It's a 9 inches long, but I have
So
no idea
Mike-
where they come from.
I know Michael's up here where I'm at. Michael's craft store. They sell them.
Okay.
So like a Hobby Lobby type place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like $1 a piece.
Okay.
You can find all kinds of them on Amazon too, different
Yep.
sizes.
Like Paul said, you know, he does them and he goes to shows and people pick up the piece and turn it over. And he ended up started buying the plastic ones because the glass ones broke, and mine are glass. So that's a good point.
You can put a bit of blue tack on the bottom of the tube and it stops it falling out then.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul. I appreciated your demo last week.
You're welcome. Yeah, nice work, Walkie. They both look good.
Well done.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right, so now we're going to go over to Mark Soleil. Mark, you awake?
Is he awake? Got to take the spotlight off of Joaquin.
I'm trying to find Mark. There he is. How you doing, sir? You're muted. You're muted. He's telling me off right now.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Now we can.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
You must
let
be
me,
awake.
I'm just turning my camera around. Here's
Look
a
at that.
here's a cherry burl pedestal candle I just did, and I use these little plates, these black iron plates. It just sets in there, and right behind that is a bud vase, right, made out of let's see, that's big leaf maple burl. And I've got African blackwood base on it and a African blackwood insert. And then I use a test tube in the top. And by the way, you can get all those test tubes, all kinds of sizes. The good Pyrex ones with the nice lips on them from North Carolina Biological. They have all kinds of school supplies and lab supplies. And they're not expensive.
Can we get that added to the chat tonight, folks?
But anyway, there's a couple that I've gotten. The shop just remains, I've got a piece of, let's see, that is Florida rosewood. Laid now, that's going to be another little bud vase. Anyway, I'm staying healthy over here, and I managed to make my 78th birthday, and so I'm rolling on.
Well, happy birthday.
Good.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Congratulations.
Happy
Congratulations, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Good to see you, Mark.
Happy birthday, Mark Soleil.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
You're making him blush.
You.
Right.
You make
So,
Mark, I got a
trying to-
question for you.
You what?
I got a question for you. I think you might have something there in your shop. If you do, I want you to show it to us. So right now, what I've been doing is going through watching a bunch of YouTube videos on shop tours, getting ideas for my shop that'll hopefully be done in the spring. I'm watching a Mike Peace video, and he says, here's a tip I learned from Mark Soleil. You showed him, I guess, at some point, how to take a cookie tin, put a slice in it, run your paper towels through the bandsaw, put them in the cookie tin, magnet to the side of the lathe for quick shop towels to put a quick finish on there.
Right.
And I went, yep, that one's going in the new shop.
Okay, do you want me to show a picture of it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, hang on, let me reverse this camera again. Okay, what I have.
There it is.
Cookie tin. Let me pull it up. So you can buy a cookie tin for $1 at like Dollar Tree or whatever. And I put a magnet on the back. Let me go to the inside. On the inside, I have a piece of wood with a magnet on this side that helps hold the cover.
The tin together.
Cut us in it with a little ziz wheel, and then I just put some duct tape over it so the sharp metal doesn't cut the towel.
Right.
So you've got you can just take a magnet, see, and you can see when you can put it anywhere on your lathe or whatever you're working on. Doesn't make any difference, but they're really handy because all you need is a small piece of paper towel all the time. You don't need a great big piece. But anyway, that's what it's all about.
That's slick.
So tonight during my demo, when I did the CA glue, had I had that, I could have just used a little piece of paper towel, but instead I wasted a whole sheet.
Yeah, instead you used a whole sheet.
Right. So
Walmart says thank you.
Right. So what I do is if you take a regular paper towel roll and you cut it at 2 1/8 inch, you get 5 rolls out of each paper towel.
Well, I'll be.
And it'll fit in the box, and you just put that cover on, and it's wherever you need it to grab that, wherever you need it to, to grab that paper towel. Just sit right there on your lathe or whatever,
Look at that. It's your birthday. You just gave us all a pretty cool gift idea. That's great.
That's pretty cheap for I think I paid 50 cents each for those magnets, and you can turn a dial, I'm sure, and those things cost $1 at the those little Dollar Tree stores or whatever.
Well, they used to cost $1. There's gonna be a run on them, so we're gonna raise the price.
Well, I don't know. I haven't been there, but yeah, that works great. And listen, anytime that anybody wants to do something as far as training, I'm going to let everybody know that one of my good customers got me into Google Duo. So now, anytime anybody wants instruction, then I can operate FaceTime on the iPhones or FaceTime on Google Duo for the Android people. So people call me up and I have a little rack over my lathe and I can answer their questions and give them instruction.
Cool.
That's the way to go, sir. Thank you so much.
Right. Thanks, Mark.
All right. You guys have a good time. Everybody's doing a good job.
Thank you, Mark. You are too. Can't do it without you. Really can't do it without you.
Captain Eddie, if you buy them cookie cans at Walmart, they're full of cookies.
I know.
And then you can eat all the cookies first.
That's why they won't let me back in Walmart.
All right.
Before we do any more gallery, can I have one moment?
Go ahead, Eddie.
All right. Folks, it's just about the top of the hour. I'm Captain Eddie Castellan. You're tuned in to worldwidewoodturners.org. This is your wood turning program. It's for you to share information, just like we've seen tonight. Tips, hits, tricks, techniques. We've talked to professionals, guys who are better than professionals. And I don't really put ratings on people. I just say you are the world's greatest wood turners. You are invited to share. We're at about 85 people tonight. We're growing every week, and we want you to be part of it. Now we're going to go back to our gallery portion of our program. Jane Chandler's handling that for us. Who you got, Jane?
All right, we're going to Gordon out the Alamo Wood Turners. How you doing, Gordon?
I'm doing great. Another wood turner from Alamo, San Antonio. I was going through my wood pile the other day and I found this little chunk of mesquite that I didn't know what to do with. It had a sloped part on it with the outside bark, and I decided to play with it. And I started. I'm here.
You're fine.
I don't know if
There you go.
Almost. Whatever, I'll put it here. It's a little, just a little pot I made out of mesquite. Part of that green is part of some lights. Hang on.
Oh, I love the finish though.
Lost it.
Spotlight.
Anyway, get it up here close. That
Did you
green
burn-
is, there we go. Well,
We got you, Mark.
You're still good. Well, water.
Gordon. Folks, if you see that we have a little problem, this is a free service, okay? So we're gonna go back to him again. Go ahead, Gordon.
okay, anyway, the green, let me turn that green light off. I don't like that. Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Anyway, it's a mesquite bowl. It's 3 by 3. But I liked it because it had the bark on it, the sapwood and the hardwood.
Yes.
And it was, you know, it's not, let's get it here even. It was, I liked it because it had a slant to it, just
Right.
uneven, looked natural. So that's
Yes.
what I made. Anyway.
And so one thing, I that's primarily what I turn, Gordon, is mesquite, and especially on the natural edges. And if you look on yours, you'll see you got a head that looks like a snake, and then the rest of it curls around for the body. So right there, no, turn it. Right there's your snake head.
Where? Right there?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, so I've got some natural edge bowls, and it literally looks like a snake going all the way around. But you can decorate that white sapwood to incorporate, you know, that Southwest Diamondback. You're muted.
Can I do the mute?
You're muted, Gordon.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I hear you. That's a good idea. I'll have to look at that. I think I got a couple more pieces of this. Maybe next time I'll have something to show with the snake.
Yeah, give me 1 minute. I'm going to go in and grab one off my table.
But remember, folks, we have a no but program here. You can say anything you want about his piece, but you can't say but such and such. That's not permitted.
I didn't hear
it's
but,
also-
but I think
No,
it's
he didn't use it. He didn't use it. We'd slap him if he did.
What was your finish, Gordon?
finishes, finishes, general finishes, wood bowl finish.
Thank you.
Comes from, I get mine at Woodcraft. I don't know where else they have sell it, but
So I'm going to spotlight myself here. I'm going to show you the snake on this natural edge,
okay.
so you can see what I'm talking about. So if you look here at the sapwood,
Okay.
you know, and I don't decorate it, but it's just the image that you can see in the story that you can tell and talk about the piece. You know, so there's the snake head, and of course, you know, the whole white sapwood is its body. It loops around and it ends right there.
Tail, yeah.
And then, of course, in this particular bowl, there was a bark inclusion in it. And so I left that in, but I filled it with clear epoxy. And after I got it turned, it kind of looks like a Gamble's quail.
Or Roadrunner, maybe.
Or Roadrunner, yeah. You know, and then you got the snake coming bearing right down on top of it. He's getting ready to have some dinner.
That was a gifted piece of wood there. That's nice.
Yeah,
Hey.
that's
I'll
mesquite.
put my money on the Roadrunner.
But yeah, I love the natural edge and leaving the bark irregularities that you did on your bowl there. It was very good.
It was just fun to have all three different contrasts.
Features, right? Good
Douglas,
job.
Dame, we're going to take one more gallery and then we're going to head over to Doug in Kentucky, and he's going to do a little demonstration for us because above all else, we're here to share tonight. So do you have anybody else in the bullpen?
Yes, sir. I'm looking up T Brace. He is next in line. How are we doing, sir?
I think I'm unmuted now.
Yes, you're right. We got you.
Okay. I had a bowl come off a couple of months ago, and I'd set it around and was thinking about what to do with it. This is a little thing I made, an art piece, I guess.
Ooh, the light's pretty bad. Bring it back close to your face, sir.
Okay.
Um,
It's kind of,
maybe the other side.
Yeah, to your left. Okay. If it's
Bad lighting.
there you go. Now it's better.
That looks good.
Okay. I use metallic wax on the edge of that. I'm calling it sunrising. And there's some bark on this walnut piece, and there's some bark here that looks like circles. And you don't see it very good there. But anyway, it's got a wax finish, and the base of it has got lacquer.
Hey, T, you're automatically into Brenda's club.
Yeah. Flying Wood Club. Brenda's got to have a name for her club.
Yeah, well, it works.
Thanks, guys.
Very good.
You know, we're fair to everybody, Brenda.
That's a nice save.
All right. Thank you, T-Brace. All right. And I just got a chat from Dick Mueller out of Des Moines. He said he found that an electric knife cuts paper towel rolls really clear. They also work real good at cutting both rigid and spongy foam, and they don't leave a mess. So if you can sneak the electric knife out of the kitchen without getting caught, that's what you use. We're going to head over to Doug Miller. He's going to do a little demonstration tonight because what he showed us last week was a piece that he put it in a negative tension. I think that's the right term, isn't it, Doug?
That's what I call it.
I call it outward tension.
Outward, that works too. Yeah, we've been talking over the weeks about thin stems on goblets or finials, and this one it's right at a 16th. That is poplar. It's a little stiffer than pine, but it's still if you put a lot of pressure on it, if I was turning it, putting pressure in, I'd snap that in a heartbeat without even thinking about it. So when I first started doing goblets, that's what we were talking about and trying to do them as thin as we could. And the guy who gave me some advice said, you got to pull, don't push, pull. And so he had to go through and give me some very detailed instructions on how to do that. And that's what I want to show you here tonight for just a second. Let's see.
Got the wrong highlight on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't get T. Brace is still there.
I had him.
Now we got him.
Okay. I've got a piece of, that's Osage orange, I think. I've got a whole lot of.
Could be
not
honey
this time. Not this time. Anyway, I just pulled this out of my rack behind. You may have seen a while ago. In fact, I didn't raise this up, and you can see I've got all kinds of smaller blanks there. That's just an old bookcase that I picked up somewhere along the line, and I've thrown all my small blanks in there, and I've got half logs all over the place and pieces of lumber. But anyway, this is I'm pretty sure this is a piece of Osage orange. I've gone ahead. I took it from. It was a 2x2, 6 inches long. I've taken it and rounded it. Went ahead, turned the cup. It's hollowed out, but you see my stem is still pretty thick and bulky. What we would normally do, bring our tailstock up close, and we'd run that thing in there and just put all that pressure on it. Run this down to a quarter or maybe an eighth of an inch and quit. Well, that's fine. But if you want it thinner, you got to do something different. So I'm going to do a couple of things. One, I'm going to cover this. I'm going to put my cone center on there. Of course, I've got to have my little rod here to hold that shaft still. This is just the standard, what is that, 3/4 tin thread that we've all made. Hopefully, we've all made soft chucks with, or soft. What do you call them, Eddie? Soft touch. That's it.
Soft touches.
Yeah, I made about 4 or 5 of those. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. And then the ones that didn't, it's all my fault. So anyway, put my cone center back in here. I'm going to bring those up, but I'm going to put a piece of paper towel. Now, this started out as a half sheet, and then I've cut it in half, so we're down to a quarter. I'm going to fold it 4 times. It's just barely big enough to go inside that cup and create a nice pad. bring my tailstock up, run it in. And I'm actually am going to put pressure on it at this point.
Now, Doug, could you have used that soft touch?
Could I? Yes, I could.
Okay.
The only issue is because we're going to tape this. We're going to tape these two together. This gives me a little bit more bulk to tape onto. The soft touch will do it without any problem. And I'm using blue painter's tape. I happen to have it. It's handy for me. You know, I could use regular masking tape. I could use packing tape. I could use electrical tape. Whatever. The tape doesn't matter. What you're doing is making that cone or soft touch, whatever it is, and the cup of your goblet one. Let's see if I lock my spindle, be a little easier. And I go a little overboard. I'm going to over tape it. I don't want it to let go. Not that that's too much trouble. Now, the problem you have, and I'll tell you this right up front, once you get this stem down to a 16th, you go to take that tape off. It's easy to twist that cup and all this sits still, and then you're done. Now, let's see, I need to, there we go.
I have also pulled my live center out of my tailstock. I found that if I can tape that to my actual quill, that works. That helps keep it in.
Oh yeah. You could also use a drawbar if you have a drilled and tapped shaft. But I'm not going to put that much negative pressure. I am going to back it off. And what I want to do is just enough pressure so that this cup is not going to start vibrating a whole lot. I don't want to pull it out. So now I'm ready. I've got negative pressure, or whatever you want to call that, and I can turn this to any thickness I want or thinness that I want. I normally try to start off pretty slowly and speed up the lathe.
We see the tape flickering, but that's not the cup flickering. That's the tape.
Right. That's just the unevenness of the tape. And I may be out of straight just a hair, but that's really not going to matter. I'm up at, let's see, there we go. I've got that up to 1500.
Yeah, that makes the tape look straight.
Yeah. Now your pressure is going towards the headstock.
So Brenda, this would be the same concept on the flower bud that you were trying to do.
No, you said that wrong. The pressure is going outward, away from the headstock.
Yep, exactly what I was thinking. I'm paying attention.
No, I meant the tool pressure. He's cutting to the headstock.
Cutting towards the headstock.
Yeah, that's where he's got a better control. I'm sorry, I said it wrong.
I see.
And you're just going to work that a small section at a time, right, Doug?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm not going to talk a lot because I can't hardly hear you all. I'm going to do it just a little bit, and then I'll come talk to you.
Okay. So it looks like you're using a 1/2-inch bowl gouge.
Well, the size it appears to be with an Ellsworth type grind on English
Right.
grind on it.
Which is perfectly fine.
Yeah, he's going straight in. The way I do it usually is I lay it on the edge, so I'm cutting on the side of the flute, and I get a more of a slicing cut than what he's getting, and it seems to go smoothly. I don't have the catches he has.
I would agree with that because that if I keep referring back to Mark Saloy's slicing thing,
right?
You go vertical when you come in, so you don't attack with that edge, that nose.
Yeah, and you can really get a good slice on it if you roll it up so that so you're on top of the piece of wood, and you're really you got a very steep angle.
Like a skew cutting with the bottom wing.
Exactly right.
Angle.
Exactly, just like that.
Why is he going on that one part instead of going all the way down uniform?
Ooh.
Work an inch at a time. Inch at a time.
If he went all the way, there would be a wobble developed.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So right now he's got the strength of the larger piece to your right, and he's removing that slowly, and then he comes back and does the toothpick thickness, if you wish, come the other way.
Wow.
If you overdid it, it would wobble. It would all wood moves. That's what God wanted it to do.
It'll create a whip effect, whipping around.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
On some of them, you can almost play double Dutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's being very careful to let the tool edge do the work, do the cutting, and not pressure.
Yeah. Light cuts. If you get too aggressive, it'll just snap.
Yeah. But you got to ask, why is he doing that? If you'd paid attention to 7th grade physics, you'd know this.
Mm-hmm.
You had physics in 7th grade?
Yeah, I took study hall.
I had physics in my 3rd year of college. That's you see, I didn't pay attention.
I was gonna say, oh, you made it to 7th grade. I'm just kidding. I didn't pass 7th grade.
He was a savant.
I know what that means, Joaquin.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Man,
good thing we're a civil show.
It just takes one catch.
Just one.
Don't
It
say
don't even
that.
have
Don't
to be
say
bad.
that. Sorry.
Yeah.
You can't knock on wood, it'll vibrate.
But this is where you got to take you're going to be using small, fine, controlled cuts. You
And
cannot
a
be in a
sharp
hurry doing this.
Look at the shavings.
Sharp tool.
Look at the
Like
shavings coming off.
a 16th at a time.
So a skew would not be a very good idea then, right?
What?
A skew would not be a very wise choice.
You would work perfectly
skew is
fine.
just as well.
Maybe if your name's Alan Lancer, but I wouldn't try it.
I have made these with a skew this thin too. You can do it.
Yes.
Yeah. I do mine with a skew.
Yeah, Cade could do it. He'd have no problem.
I normally do it. I normally do it with a skew as well.
Yeah, it's all in tool presentation. It's all on getting that slicing cut in and letting the tool edge do the work.
Exactly. I learned it 15 years ago from Ellie Avicera. And if you watch Ellie work a skew and you pay close attention to what he does, not what he turns, what he does, you'll understand.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I find
goodness? Okay, so you should be starting to get the main idea. I heard somebody say something, why don't I go all the way down? And I think Eddie explained it. This is your bulk. And if you went all the way down, by the time you got to this thickness, you'd already be getting a wobble where I'm down. What am I down to?
You're 16th there.
Yeah, that's under an 1/8.
Oh, yes, it's under an 1/8.
3/32.
Listen to you guys with all these big numbers.
We got calipers too.
I'm at 5/64.
Great job, Doug.
Yeah, and you know that still looks thick to me, but I wanted to do this bead, and I'll come back. I'll work my way back just a little more, thin this out, then I can do this bead. And if I'm very gentle before I get too thin down here, I can come back and work on this and get it right to a 16th without too much problem. But But I also want to
Yeah.
sand this. I don't want to go too much further before I sand.
Hey,
Like I said,
Doug,
yes, sir.
I think you started a new club. It's the 564th Club.
Ronnie's going to make the cards.
There you go.
560,
It's pretty doggone
564
small.
is just a shade shy of 3/32.
Yeah, yeah.
5/64 and under.
Yes. Well, it'll go on down to a 16th, so we'll be there.
Jiminy Christmas. Now, what grit sandpaper will you start off with?
60.
I'll start with 100.
That aggressive, really?
You could start lighter. I kind of learned under Russ Fairfield a little bit. He started with 60 on everything. He would come off his tool with a 220 or smoother grit on his pieces, but he would go all the way back to 60 to open that grain up and get it ready for his finish.
Nah.
So I'll start this at 100 grit. I won't spend a lot of time on it, but I'll spend a couple minutes on 100 grit. Then I'll go to 150, 220 or 240, 320, and I'm done at 320. I'll use abrasive grid after that.
Doug,
Somebody's got the mic open.
that bolt inside and out.
Hold on, Ronnie, hold on.
Should be fired over the.
Okay, Ronnie, come on back. With you, I gotta give you. Yeah, unmute it, Ronnie. Go ahead, Ronnie. You have to unmute, Ronnie.
Hello?
Now, okay.
We hear you now.
Okay. I said you must be finishing that cup inside and out before you move down.
Or finishing it off the lathe.
All right, I got Doug. Doug's
Unmute, Doug.
Yeah, gotta unmute yourself.
Doug, unmute yourself, sir. I had to mute everybody because somebody had a television program in the background.
Yeah,
which is totally a no-no.
Ronnie's question. There is no finish on here. The cup is sanded inside and out to 320. There's no finish on it because I'll come back and I'll spray lacquer on this one. If I wasn't spraying lacquer, if I was doing a rub finish like an OB shine juice, that's what I would do, would be finish the cup inside and out. And then I would move, as I moved on. At this point, I would do the same thing. From here to the base, I do the same thing. And I do the base last. But this will get spray lacquer, so no need to, I just need to sand before I go much further.
All righty.
What is that?
What is the wood?
Yes.
Osage orange.
Okay.
Now I did one a couple of weeks ago out of pine.
The 2x4 club.
Yes, definitely 2x4. And then I did the one I showed you a while ago was poplar.
Did you put a stain on that poplar?
No, sir. That's natural green poplar.
Yeah,
Poplar,
normally it's white or having shades of gray to pinkish blue. I haven't seen green like that.
Oh
yeah, the poplar in this area is a lot of it is very, very green. In fact, I've still got the stub here somewhere. This is what it came off of, and it's the light's terrible on it, but there you go. You can see it's still green. Just the goblet's got lacquer on it. That's got about 6 coats of lacquer on it, where this is raw.
Right.
Yeah, that's what my poplar looks like too. It's green like that.
Yeah, it can be cream, it can be green, it can be bluish. It can have all
Poplar
kinds
is
of
good to
color.
turn. It's a good wood to
Depends on
turn.
where it grows and the minerals that's in the ground.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
You can get pinks in it.
absolutely, you can.
It'll turn black if it gets struck with lightning.
Yes, it will.
It'll also catch on fire.
Uh-huh.
All right, folks. We want to thank Doug Miller in Kentucky for that demonstration this evening. Very helpful, sir. Very helpful. Great idea on the tension holding. It's not a pressure holding, it's a tension holding.
Instead of pushing in, you're pulling out.
Yeah, which gave you, well, it took the wobble out that God puts in wood, which is handy as can be. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it. Beautiful work this evening and a great demonstration. And with that, we're going to pause for one moment from our demonstrators and get on over here to where, there we are. It's 30 minutes after the top of the hour. I'm Eddie Castellan. You're tuned in to worldwidewoodturners.org, your wood turning club. I say that a lot because that's the absolute truth. It is your club. Your club has a 2x4 challenge ongoing at this time. Turn something out of a 2x, send us a photograph, and put it in our gallery on Wednesday nights. We want to see what's happening, and 2x4 is a great way to learn how to turn. Or if you are a good turner, let's really see what you can do. We saw what Doug could do just now. So jump on board. It's the 2x4 or the building materials challenge. And we joke a lot about the 2x4 club. Some of our now more experienced turners started out with the 2x4, and it's a great way to learn. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. So get on board. Right now, let's go to our safety director and get us a safety moment. Is he still with us?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
Jeff's still here.
There
I
he
got
is.
you, Jeff.
Hey, happy New Year, everybody.
Right, yeah, Happy New Year.
There we go. Hey, I was reading this on Facebook. Somebody posted it. So I'm going to read exactly what it has. So after wearing my safety shield the whole time while turning this pole, it decided to come off the chuck while I was finishing it, and I did not have a shield on. The spalter made it weak at the spigot, and I pushed the speed up too much while polishing. Luckily, it missed my eye. I got stitched up at casualties. Learned a lot. Always wear your shield. Still looking for pieces in my garage. Found a huge chunk about 5 meters away from the lathe. So wear your shield, wear your safety stuff. Be careful.
Yes.
Don't be complacent.
Yeah. So, and I was actually had other stuff I was putting together today, but unfortunately work got in the way. But another one, a lot of accidents happen using saws. Learn and follow safety. A lot of saws around the blade have a red area. It's a good point. You don't want to get in there, so just be careful out there. The other thing is if you start getting catches when you start getting tired, it's probably time to stop for the day or night, or go get a break and come back. If you don't normally get catches, all of a sudden you get stuff, step back and think of what you've been doing.
Right.
Have a good day and be safe out there. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Appreciate it, sir.
Great tip.
We have anybody else up for gallery right now?
Oh, yes, we are going to go to Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Oh, who's that guy?
How we doing, Johnny?
All right there. Can you hear me?
I got you, bud. Turn the lights on.
I'll turn
Wake
the
up.
light on here.
Gotta
Like
wake up.
talking to Mark Soleil.
I wanted to, Brent showed that jig for the bandsaw there earlier, and I don't know if you can see it in this one, but if you see that red inlaid in there, that's the kind of thing you can do on that bandsaw jig. It's
fun.
Yes, I cut it one direction, turned it 90 degrees, and cut it again. Then I put the red veneer in there, and that's what that is.
It is some beautiful work.
That's what I've been working on here. Today I made a couple of pepper grinders. I've got to do a demonstration Saturday for the Lighthouse Wood Turners, and that's one of the pepper grinders I've done. There's two of them, but there's
very nice.
But they're made out of mahogany and just have a coat of lacquer on them.
All righty. Hey, I'm going to go way out on the porch. Can you send me an invitation to that meeting?
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah, because I like to make those. There's several this weekend. A couple of them I can't get in, and a couple I just, but I like to see that on the pepper mills. I would like to see that.
Yeah, I'm going to go over to Trace's, and I'll do it there because he's got the best camera set.
Oh, he does have a setup. Thank you. All right, great to see you,
Right
Johnny.
on. Thanks,
All right.
Johnny. All
Thank
right,
you.
let's head over to North Carolina. How you doing, sir? What you got for us, Bob?
Bob, your turn to talk.
Now
Okay,
you're
how's everybody doing tonight?
All righty.
Have you got me picked up?
Yes,
Well,
I believe so.
We're going to get you there.
I got you right here.
Okay. This is a new birdhouse that I did. With it's sort of like a, can you see that?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Hold it up a little bit higher.
Okay.
Awesome.
And
That's really nice.
That's
Um,
pretty.
But
And
I
this is
tell
a
you,
piece
hey,
of,
can I show him something, Dane?
Yeah.
Bob,
I'll
if you
put,
can see
I'll put
this.
you back. I got you.
There you go.
Go ahead,
Bob,
Eddie.
if you can
Right.
see this, I got one that's a little bit nicer than that. Isn't that pretty? And I even got my name on it. Oh, wait, that says Bob Moffett. Oh, man.
That's terrible.
Got to get my sandpaper out and fix that. Go ahead, Bob. I'm sorry.
okay. And just to show you I can do something other than, am I spotlighted now? Okay, just
Yes,
show you
sir.
I can do something other than bird houses. I did a little Paduke bow here and put texture on the rim. And I've got a piece of walnut.
Wait,
I turned a little
Go
flat.
back to that piece. Go back to that piece. Now, that texture is crisscrossed.
Right.
How did you do that?
I do that with a spiraling tool, and I go at a 45-degree angle like this, and I come back the other way and turn it 45 degrees the opposite way. It gives me that crisscross.
All right.
That hatch mark.
Thank you.
And,
Then
yeah,
you
and
use,
here's a
then you use the
That
point
is
tool to
cool.
highlight it.
here's a walnut platter that's got the same texture on it,
Ooh wee.
and it's got a piece of limba in the middle of it.
Is that filling a funnel?
This was a funnel originally, and of course it was during a demo.
Right.
Of course.
And so then I put a plug in it.
It's never a mistake if you can fix it.
Right.
That's right. Well,
Yeah, it's only
it was
wood
a
turners.
redesign opportunity.
Yeah.
It's only wood turners that know what it is.
Yeah.
Put
Ask
the
Matt
same
Harbour
texture
about
on the
that.
back and cut the put the plug on the back or
Yeah.
all the way through.
That's
I got
pretty.
a couple bowls like that.
Yeah. It's
And that's what I
beautiful
got.
work, Bob. Boy, beautiful work.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. And again, thank you for the ornament you sent my wife and I.
Well, you're welcome.
Well, it's really to my wife. She's letting me look at it.
Well,
All right,
send it
who
to-
else?
Send it to you and
All right.
management.
Yeah. What else we have, Dane?
So let's go to the great province of Ontario.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
There's,
Hi,
my,
everybody.
there's our
How's
newlywed.
everyone doing?
Newlywed.
Our newlywed.
I'm surprised he's up and
Congrats,
standing as
Kate.
much as he was smiling in those pictures.
I know, right?
Thanks, everybody. Happy New Year. I have a
Happy
couple
New
of
Year.
things. Pardon?
You're leaning on your crutches, right? Because you're worn out.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a rough honeymoon.
All right.
Pretty busy.
All right, family program.
So I have a couple of things I made. One thing's out of a building material. I saw Joaquin today on the UK meeting, and he showed us his 2x4 challenge, which reminded me of making something for the 2x4 challenge. So I went downstairs, looked in my shop. I didn't have any 2x4s, but I had a couple 4x4 pine support posts.
We got to get Ronnie to rule on it. Ronnie, can I get a ruling on that?
Yeah, let me click on. He's in the club already.
All right.
That
Okay.
might be a 2x4 on steroids.
So I did 3 boxes because I was just practicing and playing around. I have a box demo coming up for a worldwide wood turning club. I can do that for you guys next week if you like.
You're on tap. You're on tap.
So here are the boxes here. The first two are the first two on the left. I'm just going to switch my camera around here. So the first two on your right are made out of mahogany. And this one here,
Look at
this
that grain
is
match.
the 4x4, 2x4.
I love that grain match.
That is so cool, Cade.
I do. I love that.
Right. Good job.
What do you have on it for a finish, Kate, on the pine one?
It's fresh off my lathe today. I actually just finished it right before the meeting, sort of. Well, maybe an hour or so before the meeting. I'll just switch this around. So my first coat is boiled linseed oil, diluted 50-50 with a mineral spirits. So it really penetrates into the wood.
Yeah.
And then dries, flashes off quickly.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll let
So it
that
goes in
dry.
there and the oil bonds with the wood fibers.
Yeah, yeah. It stabilizes it, dries it slowly. You get minimal warping. And then after that, I put on my many coats to make it glass-like shine.
So thank you, sir. That was beautiful work. Beautiful.
Nice work, Cade.
Great job, Cade.
I got to say this. I got to harp on it. The grain match on that 4x4 piece is awesome.
Yes, it was.
Thanks.
Those
Your lid, is that concave, your lid on the inside?
No.
No, the lid, the bottom. Yeah, okay,
Nope.
it's flat. Okay, it looked like
Flat.
it was concave. Cool.
Yep.
It's beautiful though. Very good.
What kind of oil?
It's boiled linseed oil, diluted 50-50 with mineral spirits. So it penetrates and off gases quickly. Stabilizing the wood.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Very
Clay.
nice.
Great,
I like it.
great work. Look forward to
Great
seeing
work.
you next week for a demonstration. Bullpen, what's up?
Bullpen, Dave Leader. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
This just came off the lathe today. It's someone else, wood turner's work. He threw it off, said he couldn't finish it. So I picked it up and finished it out, and I put some shattering around the bottom because it looked kind of plain without it.
I like it.
Came out pretty nice.
Oh, I get
Lost
back to-
you. Oh, da, da, da.
All right.
There we go.
That's it. That's all I had to show today. Thank you.
Okay,
Dave.
thank you.
Appreciate the show tonight.
Very nice.
All right.
Folks, when we do experience these technical difficulties, we are using a free program provided by Zoom. So sometimes we switch in, switch out. We've got several co-hosts helping us with this tonight, and we all a little anxious to get it on and see what's happening. So let's get back to the bullpen, see what else is in here for tonight.
All right, Rick Gauthier, how are you, sir?
I've done real well. How about yourself?
Good. All right, all right. You're muted.
Muted.
You're muted. There you go.
Like with the clock. We have a clock. I'm sorry. There we go. Right here. There we
There
go.
you go.
And the way I can tell it's right side up is from the back. You
Why,
see
got a
me?
hook on it?
No. It's now everybody noticed. Everybody's in the military should recognize the shape.
Yes.
Okay.
It's that funny looking office building in Washington.
Right.
And
How
our
about
company gives us challenge coins on Veterans Day. So I just planted a veterans coin in the back of it, challenge coin, clock in the front, and it's using Neil Brand's multi-dimensional tool to be able to get cut even sides. So you can see it's got a little bit of a bowl face to it.
Right.
Minimal turning, but piece of hackberry.
Yep. Still came off the lathe.
Really
Yep.
nice.
And my bride is taking care of her Alzheimer's mother, and with the COVID-19 and Alzheimer's and everything, she needed kind of a survival kit. So I went to Rockler and purchased tools to help her do her survival kit and turn the handles out of mesquite
Nice.
hard maple.
Very
That's
nice.
all I've got.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
Rick.
sharing. That's good. All right, so I hope Paul is still awake.
Yep, just
Which
about.
Paul? That
Paul,
Paul.
you awake
Okay.
out there? Trying to
Yeah,
find you.
I'll share my screen, so don't worry about the spotlight. I'll just do this.
I got you now.
Okay.
All right, it's popping up. There we go.
A new tool rack in the workshop, so I thought I'd just show you that. It was some leftover, or well, recycled or whatever you want to call it, bits of pine boards, old shelving and things like that. So I got to the point where I got more tools than holes in the rack again. So I made a second one. So that was my project last weekend.
That's a very nice piece.
Yeah. You can just about see on the back, there's a couple of those little keyhole plates. All I've got to do is put a couple of screws in the wall, hang it on the keyhole plates, and that's
right.
Done.
Everglades,
That's kind of how I have mine.
I was trying to figure out what that was in the shadow there. All right, that's nice.
That's good.
My wife said there should be a rule where you buy a certain size tool rack, and when you fill it up, you got to stop buying tools.
I tried that for a while, but it didn't work. So in the end, I'll just make another rack.
I didn't need them. She's a seamstress. Right. To tell her don't buy another bolt of fabric would be useless. Yeah. All righty. Thank you, Paul. Great to see you this evening. Thank you a lot. Paul is out of the UK, and he has done demonstrations for us. He's a very good turner, and has done a great job for us. What else you have there, Bullpen?
All right, we've got Patrick Hogart.
Hey, Patrick.
There he is. You're finally up for sharing.
Patrick, you got to talk to us.
There you go. I saw this posted on Facebook, and I can't remember the fellow's name that posted it, but it's called a German tower top. And I figured I'd give it a try, and it's supposed to not fall off when it stops turning. And it works.
How about that?
Pretty. What materials you use, Patrick?
Excuse me?
What materials?
It's Osage orange and Claro walnut.
It's pretty.
Wow.
Nice.
It's a pretty good challenge to turn.
Yeah, that negative with that stem on it's got to be a little bit of fun.
Yeah, that was different.
Yes.
Can you show us the top? Can you take the top off and show us the inside of it?
Pull it back to you. So there you go. Right.
Got an undercut on the stem on the inside. That when it stops, it tips over and catches.
Oh, gosh.
How
you just gave the secret.
I
just gave the secret away.
How about that? There you go.
I thought it was pretty
That
neat.
is neat.
Rick Gotthier's got one of those out there too. I see it in the picture.
That's good stuff.
All right,
Thank you, Patrick.
All right, we got one more in the bank here. Let's see. Jason Collett, where are you at, buddy?
Jason, say something for us, sir.
Changed your.
Had to figure out how to unmute it.
Yeah, you changed your profile name. Looks like.
No, same as last week.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
So let me flip this around real quick. So I was having trouble seeing here a while back. Let's see. So that made me a little light for my tool rest. And I don't know if you can really see this. It's just a strip of LED lights on a piece of plexiglass with a couple of good magnets on it. And it will actually just sit right under the tool rest. Oh.
Ah, cool.
It is. Cindy Droza sells a little
Nice
product
idea.
that'll go on your gouge, to light up on the inside.
Well, and these are just, 12-volt LED. I did solder the wires on, and I found just a little 12-volt transformer for it. And that would be the bowl I'm working on.
It's a pretty piece.
So we'll see how she turns out.
All right. Thank you, Jason.
Yep.
Appreciate sharing this evening. All right, folks, it's 10 minutes before the top of the hour.
You're tuned into Worldwide Woodturners. I'm Captain Eddie Castellan.
What did I do?
And hold on, if you have something, if you have a TV or a radio on, you can't have the mic on too, because we hear that all at the same time. I'm going to remind you that items we do talk about tonight, some of the sharing, folks, put it on our chat program. Chat is on your program. And if you go to chat, lower right-hand corner, 3 little dots in the square, click on it, it says Save Chat. But because we've got one of the world's finest wood turning websites, www.worldwidewoodturners.org, we'll have the information for you there. And that's also where you get tidbits of these programs and the excerpts of our demonstrations. So if you saw the 2 demonstrations or 3 demonstrations today and all the tips and hints, but you missed a part of it and you want to see it again, it's there for you. And that's why we want you to share. It's about 10 minutes before 9 o'clock. Folks, we gather each weekend here. We turn the clock on at 6 o'clock. We're supposed to start at 7. We turn on at 6 because everybody wants to chat and talk about things. And although the world is an interesting place right now, wood turning is more interesting. But we're going to turn the clock off promptly at 9 p.m. I've heard it from a lot of folks. I mean, we've got a couple of folks in the United Kingdom right now. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon for Donald over in Australia. And we have people all over the world tuned in to Worldwide Woodturners. So if you've got something, we have 9 minutes left. Let's
All right. Okay, so Dave Crescent's got a question. What's your question, Dave?
Something here.
Oh, one of them.
But it has so much friction, I can't get it to rotate. Anybody have a suggestion on how to make this thing have enough, not so much friction? The 2 pieces of wood rubbing
Coat it with,
just creating
coat it with, soak it with mineral oil.
I'll try it.
Try loosening the nuts.
Everything.
I can completely take the nuts off and it doesn't solve my problem. It just winds up incredibly.
Wow. Talcum powder.
Talcum
there
powder.
You go.
That's a good idea.
Talcum powder.
Oil, talcum powder. I'll try them both.
Yeah.
I've
you have to explain.
I've also used paste wax.
Yeah, I would wax both sides there.
Wax both sides? Okay.
But I'd consider the grooves. That's where the friction is going to build up at. You've got 8 points or 10 points or 12 points of studs sliding against each other. So in the grooves is the most important part. I would go back and strip it back down, sand it out again on the inside with strap paper, just like you shone in the shoe. Knock off any fuzz that might be there and then work in a coat of sealer and then wax.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Not a problem.
All right.
All right, Doug, you were working with your nephew last week on a bull. How did that turn out?
That one turned out pretty good. So here it is. And I was hoping my nephew's going to be here tonight so he could show both himself.
Looks
But
like E.T.
Oh, he did a good
that's what I
job.
was going to say. ET's looking at you now. Here's what's really crazy, though. We turn it this way. Now it looks like a dang pumpkin. But and then we turn it over. This side's all like a normal, I don't know, odd shaped bowl, normal odd shaped oxymoron, I guess. But then if I turn it this way, it's really cool. There's all the bug lines and where we peeled the bark off, and we got this odd shape here.
Cool. That's that Mediterranean pine that we got out here, ain't it?
It's ponderosa pine.
Ponderosa.
Yeah, but so so the cool story is my nephew's staying with me for a few weeks right now. Got some family issues going on and whatever. So he came to Uncle Doug's house, and so went out to the workshop. And first he played on the scroll saw, and he kept eyeing the lathe. And well, you want to try something? He said, yeah. I said, all right, let's go pick you out a piece of wood. I have plenty of easy wood, but no, he grabbed this crazy thing. All right, let's see what happens. I dialed 9 and 1 and let him go at it. No, I'm just kidding. It was safe. But yeah, so that's just a cool thing because my nephew made it. So that's why I like it. So he plans on giving it to his girlfriend's dad, and that's all right.
Did he enjoy doing it?
He sure did. He's loving it. So I don't
Yeah.
know. My brother might be buying this boy a lathe for Christmas next year.
Right on. Right on.
Yeah. And then, you know what? I think I forgot to tell you guys when I was doing that one on the demo, that's black walnut. If anybody
okay.
needs to know that. But anyways, that's all I got for tonight, guys. Happy New Year. I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. People have been hitting me up. If you guys want to ask me stuff outside the meeting, I'll answer it as best I can for you. You can send me messages on Facebook or whatever. And but man, just be safe out there. I hope everybody just makes good decisions and go from there.
Yeah,
Happy New
thank
Year,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to you too, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
I echo your feelings, sir. Thank you so much. And of course, Doug handles our Freedom Pens project, and you get more information on our website about that. It's 5 minutes before the top of the hour. We've
right,
got a lot of comments tonight, a lot of questions. I think we did a world of good to the wood turning world. And it's all because of you. It's not me. I didn't do it. You did it. You come here every Wednesday evening and join us, and we have a gathering. It's like sitting on a tailgate of the truck out in the parking lot talking about things. There's no format, there's no requirements, no commercials, no sponsors. We're not nailed in anybody. We're nailed into you and how you turn wood. And again, if you'd like to be part of the program, come on back, invite your friends, invite your wood turning friends, invite your girlfriend, not your wife. And come on back and join us each and every week. It's coming up on the top of the hour. I'm Captain Eddie Castellan. I want to thank you on behalf of myself and my entire advisory team. And as I'm looking at it now, we had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 co-hosts popping in tonight to help us with this, to keep an eye on things, help you flow, give us input, 2 demonstrations, shop tips and all that. I'm not going to keep beating the drum. You know what it's all about. I'll see you again back here next Wednesday evening. Take care. And like Doug said, be safe. Please be safe.
So, Eddie, there's a question about saving the chat.
Oh, you go to chat, and in the lower right-hand corner, there's a little square box with 3 dots. If you press on that, in that, it'll be that's a menu. Then there'll be a thing that says save chat. Now, if you don't get it, email me at the club address, and I'll send you what I say, because, you know, right now, I'm going to go over here and click on the chat thing, and I'm going to hit on it and say save chat, and boom.
What
I
about
got
an
it.
iPhone? What
I'm
if you're on
sorry?
the iPhone?
It cannot be done on an iPhone. And if somebody can figure it out, let me know, because I've been trying since we started this thing.
Right.
All right. But well, I got a copy of it, and we have a copy at the website, so we'll take care
Yeah,
of it.
so there's a copy at the website, so everybody should be good to go that aren't able to save it.
Hey,
All
Dane,
right.
give me a call after this is over, will you?
Do what?
Give me a call after this is over.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, folks, let's all say good night, please. All
Good
of
night,
no time.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Great.
Good
Night, everybody.
Thanks,
Happy
Captain.
New Year.
Night,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody. See you
Hey,
next
Gordon,
week.
have a good one.
Night, Grandma.
Thank you all for
Good night,
chiming in.
everybody.